get it? Freaking out. It's not the. No, I can get it.
Can't get the right angle. What is up, party people? Haha, 2brosPodcast coming to you
Condensed
in a small form. You know, as they say, make yourself small. That's what we're doing right now. We are making ourselves small. So welcome everybody, 2brosPodcast, episode number 8.
Sorry.
There you go.
We want to call this 8-1 because we screwed up the last one.
Well, we attempted it, but it didn't exist to anyone else. So
okay, so that doesn't exist. All right,
so if we do publish anything from that will be 7 dot something, 7.1 or 7.2.
We'll make maybe in 30. If we get to 50 episodes, we can have a blooper, a gag reel.
I'm gonna actually steal that footage from you from the airdrop. So
oh really?
Yeah, when we're done with this.
Oh, okay.
So what's up? I'm gonna airdrop it to myself. You have an Apple phone, right?
Oh, okay.
Is that a
yes?
Apple?
Yes.
Yeah.
I didn't know what you were talking about.
Yeah, so I'm gonna airdrop it, and then we're gonna. So we are live from our mobile studio. How about that, folks?
Hey!
As you can see, we still got the sign in the back, so you know who we are. We are live, like we said, from our mobile studio. It is raining cats and dogs. I don't know where that term came from.
I don't know, but somebody got smacked around with cats and dogs when it was raining.
Yeah, why would that come from? Just cats and dogs?
Well, I don't know. Why wouldn't it be turtles and goldfish?
Yeah, or monkeys and birds. I don't know.
Have you seen any of these videos of? I've been really fascinated with monkeys lately.
Why?
I have no idea. Because I guess because they're primates and are one of our closest relatives to humans and stuff like that.
Okay. And
saw these videos of these monkeys really attacking another member of their group, who was he was what they say is the tyrannical leader, so to speak. The guy that's tyrannical. Eventually, a couple people a little bit smaller than him get together and said, "Look, we're kind of sick of this dude's shit." And
so you mean this is an ape uprising?
Yes.
In other words, monkey
right.
Primates had an uprising.
Right. And they beat him and they kill him. But when they do that, they don't just do that. They actually eat him. Yes. Just cannibalize their own. Yes.
And it's funny because monkeys or great apes are pretty much vegetarians.
For the most, yeah, they're pretty much
herbivores. Carnivorous. They don't eat they don't eat people. Meat.
They don't look for.
No, I mean I've seen a big ass ape and motherfucker was just chewing leaves like chips, like a bag of chips. He was just like fuck you guys, look at that. I saw a program that showed if you want to have the most fun at a zoo. Where find out what the colors of the zookeepers are and wear those type of colors.
Really?
Yeah, it's a weird study that says that you'll have more fun at a zoo if you're wearing familiar clothing to them, not the bright chippy colors that you wear. You go out, you're wearing your today's gear.
Right.
But if you wore clothes that were indicative of what the zookeepers and stuff wear, they kind of loosen up and walk around and they start.
Really?
Because you go to the zoo and they're fucking just fuck you guys.
Fuck you
guys. Yeah.
Now what if you're a shitty zookeeper? Now what if you're the color of the zookeeper that fucks with the dudes in the food?
You may be in big trouble. You may be in huge trouble because
they're dancing around.
Yeah.
And they're coming right for us.
You may be in huge trouble, man. That's something I didn't think about on that little excerpt, but yeah, that's one funny thing. But that's pretty weird that apes would eat their own people.
Yeah. And from what I understand, they don't know why they do that. They don't know if it's just a thing of getting rid of it, or if it's just an opportunity to now get some protein. Because like you said, they're mostly herbivores.
Yeah, I would think that. I would think that. 100%.
Hey, let's kill him because he's a dick, and we can get some protein.
Get in the back there.
Oh, it's a jack!
What's going on?
It's a jack! Yeah, take it!
Take my wallet. Take my wallet. Yo,
What's good,
party people.
people?
We got a guest here with us. This is all strange and all things different. But we brought on a guest, so this is our camera right here in the front. These are some just views and stuff.
Things we're playing around
So we
with.
brought the homie out, John Collier.
What's going on, everybody?
Round of applause for John Collier coming to us in the mobile studio here.
Nice.
So as you your first time on 2brosPodcast, we are unscripted, undialogued. We have absolutely no agenda.
We have no idea what the fuck.
And we have no idea what we're doing, but
We got
we're just kicking it.
Congratulations, right? Because didn't you recently celebrate an anniversary?
Yeah, it's 14 years.
Congrats.
Congratulations.
Congrats.
You and the lovely Moni.
I'm not ahead of Chad yet, but I'm trailing.
Oh, well, you're doing pretty good, bro. 14. I mean, anything when you get double digits is
Yeah,
all
black love, man. Black love.
It's funny you say that. Remember we talked about this before about the black love thing. So
The black love thing?
what was the topic we talked about?
Okay.
And one of my friends, I posted something in my Facebook, and some said something, and we posted. It said, "Whatever, cool couple, black love."
Right.
And black. And then a friend of mine, someone posted said, "Oh, black love matters. Love you guys, whatever."
Okay.
So a friend of mine, white guy, Keith. I'm not gonna say his last name, but he posted, "Oh, you guys do look great. Well, what's up with the white love?" You know what I'm saying? So he says, "White love matters too, and I love you guys." Now he was serious. He was being genuine. He wasn't trying to be funny. He wasn't trying to. I didn't respond. Okay, I didn't say. A couple of people went. No one responded to him. He saw me in a bar in Blaggers, and he says, "Yo, what's up, man? No white love? When you're with your friends, you don't want to respond. You don't want to, in your post, you don't want to let you know you have white friends." And I was like, "What are you talking about?" And you know what happened? His post never showed on my timeline.
Okay.
He saw it to him on his phone. He showed me on his phone.
Right.
His post is sitting there as if he sent it, as if he's in the chat. Like, so you see all these people.
Right.
See him on yours.
Cool guy, blah, blah. I never saw it.
Okay.
It never showed to anyone else. So he's thinking he's lonely to himself, and he's posting, and I'm not acknowledging him.
Right.
And he came in frustrated. He came into the bar. He was like, "Yo, what's up, bro? What's that all about, man?
Right.
Show no white love. What up?" And I'm like, "Bro, I didn't see it."
No, I didn't see it. I'm
So
not just
what-
watching replies all day.
So what that means, what that means is that Facebook monitors the content and decided not to post it generally, but to keep it locally. So,
Right.
So he saw it. He thought he was in the conversation.
Oh,
That's
so
what I'm telling
Facebook
you.
is controlling that now.
Yes. So they are monitoring it, and I guess.
They saw a potential problem. They said, "We'll just hide that."
Aha. So they said, let's just not fuel any fires here.
Isn't that something?
So it barges on the question of it's their stuff. Like, people get mad. Why? They can't do that. Yes, they can.
Yeah, they can. It's theirs. It's theirs.
It's
Yeah,
like
yeah.
theirs.
They own it.
Letting
So
us use it, so let us use it freely, you know?
yeah, but what other platform does that work? I mean, can you your job? They give you tools.
Right.
You just can't do any damn thing you want with those
Exactly.
tools. You can't
You gotta
decide you want to
follow
go.
format.
Yeah, exactly. You can't. Hey, why can't I break in this window
Oh, that's interesting.
with these tools that I got? You gave them to me.
Right.
I should do whatever I want. This is a hammer. You should be able to hit people over the head with it. They would say, no, those are kind of like our tools. We would like you to use them for the things that we asked you to do.
Wow,
Good
but
point.
that's a good point. But I just, since you said the black love thing,
yeah.
they somehow, and I felt a little way because it could have gotten personal. Like it did get personal
could've
in the
escalated.
physical.
Yeah.
Like, he was in front of me and his chest was puffed up and he was like, "Yo,
Don't
bro,
be in front of your friends.
like this."
You hiding me?
Yeah. You don't let people know you have white friends. I was like, dude.
So, well, first of all, we're in a bar now. So,
right.
Well, obviously, we got
Exactly. So obviously, I don't have an issue.
Yeah, man. So congrats, 14 years.
Yes, thank you.
But how long together? Because we have the same story.
Yeah,
we
we're
have,
talking at least 20 something
20?
years.
okay, so we
Yeah.
have 25, 26 together,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
19 on the books, heading for number 20 in 2018. So
Well, so maybe 25ish. Because
Yeah.
CJ is 18 already, so yeah. Talking.
Yeah, well, Ron's 24.
Good minute.
And my brother's on his second marriage, so.
Yes, this was 5 years.
And that went quick.
11 together.
Excellent.
But that went so quick. Like, I remember right here, we were in the lawn,
Yeah,
we were taking
we were
pictures.
taking pictures out here in the
Tuxes
lawn.
upstairs.
Right.
And
That was a cool thing. Did you ever get that photo book?
I did get your photo.
Okay.
It
All right.
was nice. It was he had a coffee table book, which was super dope.
Excellent.
And it came in the mail. It was so beautifully
did a
done.
great job. Did a nice.
Yeah.
I think one of my favorite pictures is the one he had with where you're cutting Ronnie's hair. You're cutting Ronnie's hair before the thing, and that's one of the pictures. That's
Is
one
it
of
in the book?
pictures he took. Yeah.
I gotta look at it again. I don't remember that
It's cool.
that specific photo, but I do remember it was a very nice, well put together hard copy. Sits in the cover. Yeah, it's pretty cool. A lot of those things are. Well, I found my video, my wedding video,
Oh, did you digitize?
and I digitized
Nice.
it. Yeah, and I dropped it on onto a hard drive and stuff like
Okay,
that.
I'm out on this, but I have to do that.
Yeah, I could do it. I in fact, I had posted it one time as a service, and I got a shitload of calls from
Really?
people that were like, "Yo, can I?" And this one chick, I won't say. I promise I wouldn't publish this. She gave me a tape from Freaknik when her and her girls went down to
Back in the
Freaknik back in the '90s down in Atlanta.
Shit.
Memories.
And she was like, "Whatever you do not shit." I said, "So burn it. Like, why do you want to make it digital so it could be everywhere?"
Right.
Right.
And she was like, "You're right."
I'll keep it on the video.
And the funny thing was I didn't see any of it. It was a high 8, one of those super 8s.
Okay.
And I don't have that format. VHS I have the little one that goes into the little disc,
Right.
but I don't have the super 8, which is
Okay.
you
Sony
couldn't do
came
it.
out with that shit. Sony came
What,
out.
didn't they have cartridges like you could like you could put it into what ended up being a VHS thing and it would
Yes.
kind of like expand the tape?
Okay,
or
so I
whatever?
have that, but that's only for one type of cassette, and it's
Okay.
HR, whatever the brand, whatever style it was. The one that came out after that, right before it died, was Super 8.
Okay.
And Super 8 was a little bit size bigger, and it was proprietary to like Sony and
Right.
and a couple of brands that came out. Like, people forget that the handy cam, remember, camcorder was a Sony word. That was it was a while it
Sony
was-
created it.
Sony created a handy cam, as a
Uh-huh.
camcorder, and that became the word.
Right.
So it became the verb, right?
Right.
Yo, get the camcorder out. No, I don't have a Sony.
Became the noun.
It became the noun.
identifier.
Right, the
Like
identifier.
Kleenex or
Kleenex, Pampers.
right.
Coca-Cola, whatever else.
We got, at my daughter's school like 2 weeks ago. I went and visited my daughter.
Yeah, so
and,
how was that?
That was fantastic. It was
Yeah.
beautiful.
We went down to North Carolina.
Winston-Salem, North Carolina.
Winston-Salem. College, big college town, no?
It is a big college town. That
Bunch of
college
college
itself
towns.
is not that big,
Yeah.
but it is a big college town.
Yeah,
She goes to North Carolina School of the Arts, and the job she has is she does the inventory on all the old film stock that they have, and it's a huge room with just
Wow.
nothing but film, and people use it to, like, if they want to. I don't know. I guess they have to like check it out. It's kind of like a library. You can check out old film and
Yeah,
and stuff
that's
like
dope,
that.
though. Yeah.
But one of the things they had this box of old VHS tapes, and some old movies and stuff like that. And we were like, man, why are these things still here? How come people aren't snatching them up? And then my daughter said, well, how are we gonna play it?
Right.
And I was like, oh,
Good
I
point.
guess you're right. You don't know what the hell these
still
things
have
are.
Dude, I am, a plug fanatic. Like, I have a severe hoarding problem. So I'm willing to admit it. I have VHS hooked up right now.
Do you really?
Yeah. My VHS is hooked up, and I bought all the connections to download, to put it to computer. Because a lot of people ask for that, and then people are like, "Yo, can you do it?" Like, my thing is, I will never get beat by technology. Like, so whenever my friends ask me for something, "Yo, can I get this and do that?" and I'm like, "Yes," and they go, "For real?"
Yeah.
And I'm like, "Yeah." But I used to, a lot of my friends will tell you back in the days, I was taking. So remember you came back from Japan, you had the super
Yeah.
VCR, and you gave
Yeah.
it to me. This thing was, I was the king of the neighborhood with this thing. Because, you know what it did? It freeze frame.
Nice.
It had still frame on it,
Uh-huh.
and it had picture in picture, and it had slow motion.
Oh.
So I could put it in slow motion, and while the movie is still playing, it was going.
It was going in slow
crazy.
motion. Yeah.
That VCR you brought from Japan was incredible, and it
Like
had
it's
so
done.
many aux plugs in the back. I had a
Yeah,
connection.
you could plug into a lot. Another thing that they had there when I was in Japan, they had their bootleg movie scene was tight because they had most of the copies they had was studio copies. They had studio copies of movies before they got released, and so so it wasn't just some like dude sitting there taking a picture of the screen. They had an actual studio copy of the thing, and they would replay it, and then it would be distributed. And yeah, so I'm like looking at these movies. I'm like, wait a minute, doesn't this like come out next month in the States? And he goes, yeah.
We beat you.
Yes.
We have first. Yeah.
That's right. We got it. That's right. We got it. I'm buying it for like $3. Like, holy shit! And like, you got a stack of these movies that came out. Can't do shit with them now though. And I think I recorded like over all of them.
Yeah, but I mean, the stream world is so vast with this now. I mean, they have all types of devices. I will not name any of them on this.
Right.
Nor do I know how to do any of that or have access to any of them. But there's so much streaming stuff right now that there's virtually, where there's a will, there's a way. And if someone has it, someone is reproducing it and rehashing it and resubmitting it, and it is out for the general public, man.
Right now, there is an executive who used to work at Blockbuster, who's probably like mopping floors
Yeah.
right now.
Yeah.
I'm supposed to just forget about it.
Because somebody like, and I just would love to see that meeting that they had. Say, hey, you know,
Netflix is taking us out.
you know, people have these computers and whatnot, and they're gonna be getting these things on their computer all the time. Something called streaming. We need to figure out how to get our hands into that and stuff like that. And said, people love waiting in line.
We sell
checking out.
gumbo, we sell the popcorn. We sell, which we talked about in the last one or a few podcasts ago. That was such a great experience. Like I would run into you at Blockbuster.
Right.
It was an event.
What you guys doing? Oh, what you guys get? Oh, I like that movie.
Yeah.
Go check that one out too.
It became a socializing event. Yeah.
Man.
But then there were creeps in Blockbuster. There were guys in the aisles that were like buffs, and they were like, "Oh, you gotta see this. It stars Harrison Ford, and he's this and that." And I'm like, "Okay, buddy, let me fucking check it out.
Yeah.
Like, let me check it out."
Yeah. Like the dude on The Simpsons, the comic book dude on The Simpsons, who like he can give you this was the original was in 1972 when they did the Harrison Ford was in the original and then it got
autistic or something.
And then it got skipped by MGM, but because
that's way too much.
At the time, Glenn Close wanted to do it. It's like, can you get out of the fucking way? So I can
Get out of the way. But there is an interesting the backstory of the Blockbuster guy is he was trying to open a hotel. His group.
Oh yeah.
And he's part owner of one of these networks, like Fox Networks.
Okay.
This guy's not by.
so he's
He
not
didn't.
poor.
Well, yeah, I mean they're not broke. I was being facetious when I said that.
He did see something, but he diverted his attention to something else.
Yeah.
And I remember when it was declining, when it was crashing. The company was exporting all their titles overseas, and they had a huge deal with like Brazil, Portugal, all these countries. $2 on the face, no matter what the title was, just American movies, and there was a big push to get, and the countries were like, no, we don't want this crap, we don't want, because countries screen it. Like when I went to China. They asked if I have movies on my laptop. Like,
really?
Yes, you have movies on here. I was like, I don't know, it's a computer, it's spreadsheets. You have movies. What kind of movies you have? And I was like, no, there's no movies here. And I did have movies. And I was like, I had a hard drive, but they don't allow it.
Okay.
They don't allow it. Like their YouTube. I forgot what their YouTube is called. Their YouTube is not called YouTube there.
Because they control all that.
It's something else. But we see it as YouTube, and like when people post, I forgot what the fucking name is. Somebody do dial in, call or whatever.
Yeah.
Tell us what it is. It's a different name.
It's called communism.
It's communist. Yeah.
It's a communist country. People
They
forget
control
that.
everything.
But I will say that I stayed in the hotel. It was a factory tour, so I wasn't there for luxury and sightseeing. My daughter went to Beijing for the dance thing, and that was different. And they had a great time. But where we stayed, this hotel was For the birds. It was like cold. There was like no heat. It was like, we don't have heat here. Like we don't plan.
We don't do that.
Yeah, we don't.
We don't do that. We don't do that comfortable shit.
Yo, breakfast. There was like free breakfast. I was like, okay, great, free breakfast. It was a cup of hot water, spam, and an egg, like a wet.
A raw egg.
It was kind of like over easy, but you know I like my eggs running, but it was warm, but it was cold,
At least cooked.
and it had like a skin on it. I was like, oh no. And then the guy was like, I got hot dogs. I was like, from where? I was like, I'm good with that. And then when we went to the factory, they took, I know you had a rough time, so American breakfast.
Yeah.
Oh, great. But the plant manager, the dude who ran the plant, made about, it was like, we went to his house. He invited us to his house. We had dinner there. We had and it ain't what people think, these huts and all this other stuff. This dude had like a condo, a duplex with a 2-story. He makes about $300 a week, okay? 300 equivalent to our US $300 a week. King.
Yeah.
Mercedes and Peugeot. It was like their Mercedes.
Okay.
They're big on Peugeots there for whatever reason. And
get
remember
food.
Peugeot? Man?
Yeah, I remember Peugeot.
The Lion or something. But they had all the gadgets. They had everything. And this guy was not starving. I mean, it wasn't like they were, workaholics and all this. They lived regular, true religion jeans. They wear all the stuff we wear. Triple gooses and they were like, I mean, sure it was all knockoff and stuff from wherever, but they lived pretty damn good. I mean, the guy's house was amazing. Like I was like, you live here? $300? You make $300 a week?
Yeah, it's amazing. Like if you people here in this country are struggling, but you compare that to like what you see around the world. And you kind of like you could be somebody. I forget who said this. It was a conservative commentator. I can't remember who said this. I can't remember who he was. But he made a point in saying that in the U.S. you can be poor, but still be okay.
Yeah.
So you can still not worry about like, are you going to eat? You can still provide something for your kids and stuff like that. Have shelter and stuff, and still be technically poor.
Yeah, the poverty line is weird. Like in the U.S. I mean. If you make less than $8,000, that you qualify for public assistance. Okay. So
it's more than that, isn't it?
It may be more now. I mean, I remember years ago it was $8,000 or something like that. But if you're talking to somebody that makes $40,000, $50,000, $80,000 with 2 people in the house, and you only can make $8,000. That's not even like I made more than that in a summer job. You know what I'm saying?
How you even get by?
Like, what can you get by on that? So you have no choice but to eat shitty food, cheap food, 99-cent everything. You know what I'm saying? You eat dollar menu. Whoa, choices.
Yo, that's $1.19, man.
I don't got 19 cents.
Fucking tax, man. Fucking taxes. Shit is 109. What kind of shit is that? It's supposed to be 99 cents, G.
Something else.
But it forces you into living a certain way, which I'm sure it's not intended. But asking the government to fix it is kind of like the people that like. It's almost like, okay, we gave a program to help you, kind of crutch you
temporarily.
So crutches are not meant to chill with. Crutches are meant to, okay, I get better and I walk.
At some point, you shouldn't need that crutch.
You should not need the crutches anymore. So welfare is a crutch. It's meant to you get better. It's a Band-Aid, and then you fix yourself, and then you get better. So,
the statistics are incredible as to how black families were before and after what you would call a welfare state.
Yeah.
And how before the welfare state, we were prominent. There was even a point in time where out of wedlock births were actually lower in black families than they were in white families, like in the 20s, like after slavery and after Reconstruction. There was a period of like between 1900 and 1930 where like the black family was like the model of the nuclear family.
All these towns over here, like Laurelton, these middle class, St. Albans, Lena Horne, all these people used to live here, James Brown, all these people live here.
Everybody, Babe Ruth, Louis Armstrong.
So you're talking about
They
prominence.
were saying the welfare was created to devalue the man.
Right.
Well, take your dependency away from him.
Right.
So women would say, I can do it by myself. I can have these kids by myself. I don't need you in my life. You know?
Right.
Just give me a baby, I can get an extra check. And it was like,
I mean, it absolutely says something to a plan of, I guess, de-manning the household or whatever else. I mean, let's not make no mistake. In the Deep South, the fear of the African man, was rampant. Like they created monsters. If you go back and look at Birth of a Nation, and you've ever seen Birth of a Nation, the real one about the Ku Klux Klan and the origination of it. I mean, the way they depicted this guy was like a fucking. What was the guy from the boogeyman from the Laurel and Hardy shit?
Right.
That's what the black guy looked like. He was like
seething
and
couldn't wait to get his hands on white women.
And in fact, it was the white women that were like, "Hey, what you got? My husband can't do shit for me. Every time I with you, I see them winches is moaning. So they clearly was if you watch like Goodbye Uncle Tom and Uncle Tom's Cabin and all those ill slave movies, even like what's the boxer Ken Norton. He played in a shitload of those, like Trump, yeah. He played in Mandingo and all these other things. I mean, his role alone was always this strapping black man that some white woman just couldn't resist. And even she had a baby from him. I think she had a baby by him in Mandingo. I think.
Has that changed? Do we still like in like movies and TV shows? Do we still depict the black male as very physical?
Yeah.
They're all cut up, maybe a little bit too emotional for his own good.
Yeah.
I mean, like how many black people do you see on TV that are just regular people?
If they're gay, then if they're they show them in a homosexual way, and then make people go, hey, this is okay to be docile and be, kind of
safer to deal with.
Yeah, the safe guy.
Safer to deal with.
Safe guy, you know what I'm saying? So that in itself, when you watch like, I can't even watch Empire no more, man, because it's while it was fun.
Keep the party going.
It was a fun show to watch. I just couldn't. I mean, I'm not a homophobe or anything else, and I just really was like, why are you forcing this on me? Like
in your face now.
Like this is like in my face and made it regular. This dude waking up like, good morning, babe. Like that's crazy to me.
Okay, so then what do you think about the Omar character from The Wire?
Okay, just as bad. You know what I'm saying? Just as bad. I thought that was forced on everybody too, and the culture.
Why they even put that in there? Though?
Right.
That's the question.
So the culture was to promote this homo thug thing that was saying, and could it have been a part of the evolution? So again,
who decided to add that? That's my question.
Aha.
Who decided that? Like I said, let me see you put on a dress. Remember what Chappelle was talking about?
Right.
Let's see you put on a dress now.
And it seems to always be.
If you want to bring it to the big world, put on this dress. If you want more money, more bigger contracts, put the dress on for us. You know what I mean?
I see. It seems to be the script for Hollywood. So which goes into now. Again, I'm Mr. Conspiracy guy.
It's called Jesse Ventura.
I can't. You bought the book.
Did you read it?
Book. Yeah, I'm like every day. I read it. I read it like snippets. Like I read it like as if it's horoscope. Not like a book to read one through. I go into different segments and just feel different things out. But it says to me that Harvey Weinstein somehow didn't want to play the game anymore, and he becomes this new sacrificial lamb of like, hey, all of a sudden, boom, target. Now the casting couch is not new.
Right.
I think everyone in Hollywood knows that you gotta pipe down or pipe up, which one way or another to get that role. And so at some point when Harvey's that big, when guys get that huge, financial wise, I mean, this guy could buy his own studio. He could do whatever he wants. He doesn't have to. At some point when you don't play ball with someone, I don't know who that power is. I don't know. I don't even want to give them that much power to say that they exist. But whenever you don't play ball with some group, you get turned on, and all of a sudden everybody comes.
Yep. Out the woodwork for us.
And it's interesting because we got you. Oh, they're fixing your.
Yeah, they come in there. Power went out right before we. That's why we're in the car.
Hence the mobile studio.
Hence the mobile studio. Yes.
Yeah. Well, it's funny because when you I mean, like for us, okay, it's kind of shocking to hear all these women coming out of all these accusations. Okay, it's a horrific thing, but in that circle, it was like known.
Right.
It was like, you say, oh man, I think Harvey Weinstein messed with that girl. Oh, who, Harvey? Oh yeah, he does that.
He said it. They said it at like every roast. It was like, and anyone who goes up to Harvey Weinstein home, be prepared to disrobe. Or
which begs the question then: at what point do you have the responsibility of calling somebody out for their shit? Because so let's say you have actress A. Actress A decides that, okay, in order for me to get this role that's going to be huge, I will do this thing, this horrific thing that I don't want to do.
Right.
It's demeaning, blah, 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 but I'm going to do it.
It's the only way.
Okay, so now actress A now begins to establish a career for herself, and she is now an established actor.
Right.
Why then, at that point, does she not say, yo,
that was wrong back then.
We need to make sure that people who deal with Harvey Weinstein or whatever understand that this is how he operates. Why not call him out before it becomes a popular? And maybe other people have, and maybe we just haven't noticed, or maybe he just wasn't that popular.
You're right.
Great.
But why not call him out when you get to a point when you have a platform from? The whole Bill Cosby thing started with a Hannibal Buress joke.
Right.
And then somebody said, wait a minute, he does that? Really? Oh yeah, he did that to me. And then everybody said, oh shit. There's all, So it didn't start out like people didn't say, hey, look, check, be careful if you got to deal with Bill Cosby because he'll get you a drink. And that'll be your last drink,
And he's even admitted, like, he didn't mean it that way, and he's had such success. I don't know if you know who Hannibal Buress is.
I gotta look him up now.
The comedian.
Remember that conversation I had with you? I was like, do you know this guy? And you was like, no, I don't know him yet.
That was a while back, yep.
And soon as he popped up, and he's just one of those characters. But you know what? It's the same thing in sports, like, especially with youth sports.
Right.
The ref sucks when you're losing.
Right. Oh yeah,
but the ref is fine when you're winning.
When you're winning, right?
Exactly.
So
keep calling it, ref.
Right. Exactly.
So it's always two teams competing for something, and somebody's got to lose.
Yep.
So there's always a point where the same ref, you beat him up the whole way. You make horrible calls. When you're winning, this guy, you don't say shit about the call.
Right.
Same guy, you'll call. People believe that the referee somehow has a tie-in with these guys are going to give me more games if I make them win. And everybody I know that refs, I know a shitload of referees, none of them have any agenda other than to get more games. And so the fairer they call it, the more games they'll get.
It goes against them, actually, if they call the game one-sided, because then they don't get the next game. And
like one league could not give enough games for a ref to be like, yo, I'm an in-house ref. Then that's what you want. I don't want your ref in our game. I want a neutral guy, an unbiased guy. And I think people mistake the fact of that, the ref, well, in this case, the media becomes the referee, right?
Right.
And are they really that unbiased, or do they have the agenda?
See, then you get, because now, okay, so now the Me Too campaign started.
Me Too, yeah. This is everyone
with a lot of people.
The chicks,
who were,
the ladies are posting Me Too.
Saying that they were a victim of abuse or assault and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And that's all, and that's horrible. It is horrible. But it also begs the question, well, what is abuse and what is like horrible misconduct? Because you talk to some people yes, some people were cornered into a room. Yes, some people to get this promotion they had to do something and stuff like that. Yes, yes.
Terry Crews said he grabbed his balls.
He grabbed his balls.
He grabbed his Johnson, man, and told him, "Listen, man, you know, hey, oh, we're back on. Look, we got power, baby. Yeah, we got power.
Oh, you wanna?
We got beers." Can't help you, buddy.
It's a light beer.
But thanks for getting us back on. Thanks. Thank you. Hey, we got power back. All right.
They came at Terry Crews.
Yo, Terry Crews came out and said that he was groped by some record executive. Male, and took a chunk of change with him. It was like,
wow.
Yeah. And you know, he said he got irate and left the party or whatever else. But next thing you know, he was on Who Wants to Be a Millionaire. See what I'm saying? Like,
but that clearly is inappropriate. Now, unfortunately, there's some people who will tie in.
He cashed the check. Like at some point, he cashed the check.
No, I get it. But what I'm saying is that how many of these can you lump together that say it's actual abuse or misconduct? Because some people want to say that you walking up to a young lady at a bar and asking her if she wants to go and get some dinner or something like that. Mm-hmm. Well, that's assault.
He's so thirsty.
Right. You know, people want to take those instances. And so like if the guy says, you know, hey, can I get you that drink? Right. Well, that's assault. Yeah. And that's abuse. And so what was that? Who had that joke? Chris Joke had that thing. He says, yes, there's some clear instances. Chris Rock. Yeah. There's some clear instances of sexual abuse, but most of the time we can just say these are just dudes just trying to get laid.
Yeah, but I guess when you're in charge, you know what I'm saying, when you have the and you know what, I think it's just weird. It's just and listen, don't get me wrong. Any woman that feels threatened, I think now today more than ever you have every medium possible. You have all of these gadgets to kind of blow somebody up.
Right. Yeah.
Big time. There's people. There's secret cameras. You got.
But it's got to be legit though. But it's got to be legit. It can't be. You remember that skit that they did on Saturday Night Live? Mm-hmm. Tom Brady was hosting on Saturday Night Live, and they were going over sexual harassment.
Yeah. Okay.
And
I didn't watch
this woman's sitting at her desk, and this guy walks over, unattractive dude, walks over and says, "Hey Becky, you think maybe later we can go maybe get some lunch or whatever?" She says, "Oh my God, I'm just trying to work. This is sexual harassment."
Oh, because he's ugly.
Right. So they have a new employee. The new employee is Tom Brady, right? And he's walking around in his underwear. And he walks up to the same woman and says, "Hey Becky, me and my car, 30 minutes." "Sure thing, Tom. I'll teach you anything you need to know."
Oh man!
So you can't have it. You can't have it both ways.
No.
You can't have it both ways.
You can't. And I really think that's one of the biggest challenges that people forget. Like they always, when it's convenient,
right?
When it works for you, you kind of keep quiet. When it's not working for you, you blowing the whistle.
Right.
So, but that's with anything. I mean, well, for guys that are like, I don't understand the Harvey Weinstein-ish guys that have, $1 million something in any account of his choosing.
Right.
That he has to do that.
Yeah.
It's that ego trip, that power trip.
Is that what it is?
Is it ego or is it insecurity?
Come on, man. This guy is beating off in flowers? Like he's jacking off in plants? And like, take this
sick.
And tell you to take the plant home with you and a little bit of me in that plant. Like, what the fuck?
Yeah, it's pretty sick.
That is, dude, there's no, I mean, listen. How do we even know that? Like, how does, like, what whistleblower came? Yo, he beat off in a flower.
He beat off in a flower.
Like,
what? I'm sorry, he did what?
What? Like, that does not compute. Does not compute.
Yeah, it's kind of weird.
No, he's weird, man. And you look at him, but the funny thing is, he was always there. As long as we know the production company, whatever else. And while he was this hulking guy and whatever else. Now all of a sudden people are like, yeah, he is kind of creepy.
Yeah.
It does start to look like. But millions of dollars in financing on movies, nothing.
No, yeah, exactly.
And in fact, I'm gonna go on record here to say that when I met Sheila Johnson, at the NABHU conference, Sheila Johnson is Bob Johnson's wife. I'll probably get in trouble for this, but it's a podcast. It's the truth. She mentioned when she produced The Butler, the movie The Butler.
Okay.
And she was on stage, and she talked. This is all in. I can't make this up. She mentioned how she went for financing, and she wanted to keep the movie as black as possible.
Okay.
And that she
like the cast.
So
no,
financing.
as far as from the financing to the telling the story, she wanted it told by African Americans who at some point were involved in the struggle or affected by it and or recipients of it. Good things. You can relate. She went to Oprah, who was in the movie. You know what I'm saying? Oprah was like, well, you can just take my fee off, like,
Right.
Like,
she'll do it for free.
Yeah, don't pay me for my acting.
Gotcha.
But she still wanted residuals and all that. Like, this is a money game. You know what I'm saying?
Still a business.
Kanye, Jay-Z, rapper, all kinds of people. You know who? What? So you're gonna bug the fuck out of? What's the guy from Dallas Mavericks? Looks like Billy Ocean.
Michael Finley.
Michael Finley.
Okay.
Forked up the most money.
Put up the most money from an independent person. Put up the most cash on himself. And Harvey Weinstein put in the rest. Now, I said to her, and she says it. She went on. She said this in public, and I can't believe. At some point, she's probably going, "Oh shit, this is wow." She mentioned the story of how she had a thing with, and she talks about going came to a hotel, da da da.
Wow.
So now you putting this backstory, going, "What the fuck happened here?" And she talks about how she said, "No, Harvey, no. I'm not doing it. Thank you. You're a sweetheart. You're a gentleman. Blah, 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 this and that." And he said, "Look, take the money. Don't tell anybody I gave it to you. Be as black as you want to be." That had to come with a favor, dude. That had to come.
What does Bob Johnson say about this?
That had to come with a scratch and sniff package. Something had to come out. Now,
when the microscope.
when the mic, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm looking at it now going, wait a minute. That story sounds different now.
Right.
Yeah.
Because when she said it, it was, wow, I can't believe this guy was
That guy's
great.
a great guy, yeah. So
But now,
generous.
listen, and I hope it was genuine. I really do hope it was all of, whatever. And this guy.
Now,
so now you go look. Who directed? Lee Daniels,
right?
So now you got all this agenda stuff going. And all of a sudden these people plummeted and got into, Hollywood. They became big.
Lee Daniels was big before this, though, right?
I don't know. I only heard of him from that progression from The Butler,
Yeah, he did.
to Empire and stuff and all these other movies.
I think his first big movie was Precious.
Okay, well, maybe that's what it was.
And then he did a couple other things.
Monique. Okay,
And
so
Monique.
that so
he was in the business.
For a while.
He was in the business.
Okay.
So he's been around.
yeah, I don't know, and I hope the story was genuine, like she said it was, but
Right.
I can't help.
Now we don't know.
But I can't help
Now
but
we're
think
skeptical.
Everything's got a
something.
question mark.
Now we got a
Yeah,
question.
man, there's
All
something
these question
happening.
marks. It's
So
like when you go to the Chinese food spot and then you walk
it
out and
really?
you see all these cats walking around.
Oh,
You're
you don't see
"Hmm."
any cats. Well, there used to be
I
cats.
said, why is this? All of a sudden, this chicken is really not expensive.
well, but, I mean shit, that's a whole nother.
Topic.
Yeah, man, like anabolic steroids and you
these
watch these guys.
oversized animals and
Yo,
plants.
there's a chicken spot on Nostrand and Church and Nostrand that we used to go to all the time for pan of wings. $60, big pan of wings. The fucking wings look like the emoji. You know the strong arm emoji now that they got? That's what them wings look like, bro.
Oh man.
Yo, I was like,
What's going on?
and back then we were like, we love this place.
That's right.
Like, these
Great.
big
No,
wings.
$60 and these big turkey legs and
Big
shit.
meaty wings. All this meat.
What chicken got that fucking
Oh god.
Well,
Nothing
you seen some of the things they have in the plants. Like they're growing chickens so big that they can't even walk.
You know, exactly.
Yeah, I seen this fucking one with
No
chicken.
walking at all.
He was just waddling, and they were barely got eggs out of it. They said the eggs came out like shit. And they were like, he's not even
wanted the meat.
Yeah, they just wanted the meat.
Apparently, that's one of the easiest things to do is raise chickens.
Yeah, some people have chickens.
Like I wouldn't. I think when I expand, I'm thinking about maybe
Have a couple. Get some fresh eggs.
Get eggs
So
every day.
we had fresh eggs at B's house one day, Ali, and his neighbor is chicken and whatever else, and it was great. I mean, I didn't really taste the difference of it, but I mean, just knowing that they came
Fresh egg.
directly from
They weren't controlling what he's fed.
because
and stuff.
you gotta think, man, as fragile as they are. That place, if you look at the address of where it comes from, well, if you look at the carton of eggs and where it came from, that's a shit long fucking raw haul,
Right.
man.
Right.
On
What's
a truck,
what's
on a
keeping it
case,
fresh?
on a container, on a this, on a that. Man, it travels a long way.
What if chickens developed consciousness to a point where they say, "Hey, look, there's a good chance that 99% of us are going to end up on somebody's plate. Why are we taking this? Why are we?
Why are we going for this?
Why are we? Start teaching people language and shit, and then it's just, and just all of a
Chicken
sudden,
revolt.
like he becomes the father,
Revolution.
and then all of a sudden, like the Terminator, like, oh, he taught us how to fight and shit. And then all of a sudden, there's this chicken revolt, and then you go to this farm, and then
rebellion.
they start like coming at you, and they start like attacking you, and shit and stuff.
We were like Foghorn Leghorn,
know?
and Tweety. Like there was I mean, we grew up watching cartoons and all
Right.
sorts of stuff, and there was always personality in animals.
Yeah.
Right.
And we thought nothing of it. Like we didn't think they didn't have personality. As kids grew, this guy can't talk. Like he doesn't have a conversation, and he gets up when you leave. By the way, but that would be kind of funny. Just walking around.
Yeah. All of a sudden, just organizing
But
his other
just-
chickens.
Chickens organized.
Well, like you said these monkeys were getting together and beating up.
Yeah, they were
some
beating up
bad guys
the
and-
tyrannical leader.
I mean, that's kind of a sense of government. That kind of, so if 10 monkeys get together
Yes.
and go, yo, you know what? That's the bad guy.
This motherfucker here gotta go.
He gotta go.
He gotta go.
We gotta get rid of
We
him.
gotta get rid of him.
And you, the young boy, you gonna go do it. Get that club and
We got
beat
your
him up.
back. Go ahead
So
and
we
get
got your back, but you gotta do it.
I mean,
I can't be seen doing shit like that.
well, you guys watch
got
any
priors.
of the? Got priors?
I can't do it, y'all got priors.
They got me for some shit
They
way
already know me.
back there.
They
bro.
already know
I'm
me.
just-
Okay,
nothing. I got your back, but I can't be the dude up front, man. I can't be the dude up front.
Well, have
You
you
know.
watched any of the new series, New Planet of the Apes from Caesar?
The movies?
newest ones.
The movies?
Yeah.
That last one I didn't see. but
I didn't see
that
the. I
little
saw
girl
the
with
last
them. I
one. There
didn't
was
see that
too much talking in it, and
Too much
I-
talking.
Yes,
But
and
yeah,
there was
the
too
girl
many
with the
fucking
little- I think a
subtitles.
little girl.
Oh, okay.
There was too many
Well,
subtitles.
how do you learn anything if ain't nobody talking?
I mean, listen. No, I wonder why they choose to like Caesar will talk,
Right.
He speaks
He
English.
can speak a little bit of English, right?
but the rest of them are
Oh, okay, I see what you're
so
saying.
you got to read it.
So, okay, I see.
Right.
Okay, all right.
So on top of that, I'm like, okay, it's like watching a foreign film here, which I get it. That's what they're trying to, make you seem like it's foreign. And I'm saying to say that when you go back and watch like some of the old Planet of the Apes, like the original ones, when they were on the spaceships or the rocket, 38. And so somebody said that the original one came out the day that Joe Louis was fighting or something. There was a rush to get it out to show, or maybe it was King Kong or something like that.
Okay.
And so that there's always these racial undertones of like, what if these motherfuckers get intelligent on us? What if they get smart? What if they, and putting the symmetry into, African Americans or black people or something. I mean, that's what some people have chosen to say.
Well, the author of the book Planet of the Apes, he said that
That'd be interesting. What did he say?
he basically was making a comment on the laziness of society, and said that as a society we've become so complacent and so lazy that we will allow an uprising of our lower primate, who can all of a sudden, we will let our sort of like our ego like destroy us, and then our successor will then become our lower primate.
Wow.
That's
the
commentary he was trying to make.
But you know, when you transcribe that in, well, that's kind of weird. I mean,
well, look what we're doing to the planet, and how the planet is so-called getting back at us. You can say all these hurricanes and all these things going on with nature.
Yeah, I mean, listen, we talk about that a lot because there's so many theories. Like, you just can't prove, like, you know, Mother Nature doesn't speak our language. You know, it speaks its own language, and so we're constantly looking. Like I said this to somebody before. The fact that we believe, and again, it ties into what we talk about Hollywood. The fact that we believe a pterodactyl goes is insane to me.
Yeah.
You have no knowledge of the sound.
Right.
You have someone made this sound to you. Hollywood made this to you. Some people who had a producer studio said, "Yeah, that's what he looks like. That's what he looks like.
Yeah.
So let's make a sound that looks like him." I can imagine those people sitting in the studio drawing this. Well, from the bones we found, from the little, and then you filled in the blanks, and you said, "Yeah, it'd be great if he made." And let's run with that. Yeah. And if you came out with that now. There's no other way you could make it. What if they didn't sound like that? What if they would just like sometimes my dog, he'll be saying, he makes like a crazy noise, and I'm like, what?
Where did that come from?
What was that? You hungry? I don't know what this meant.
What does this mean?
And he's like, fuck out of here, like. What the fuck did he just say?
Talk to you.
Yeah, I'm sure he's trying to communicate, and he's looking at me like, "You don't get it, motherfucker." He's turning his head
you
like,
"You don't hear me?"
I just told you.
I just told you.
I'm about to shit myself. Right? I'm about to shit myself, man. I can't do shit with these fucking mittens. I can't wipe my own ass.
God damn it! I need some help.
Little help.
Shit, you got me. I wonder if pets know how good they got it.
Oh my goodness.
If they're like, do they look like? Does Casper look outside, see it raining?
He's probably looking in the window.
Probably is right now. But does he look outside and does he see a dog like running around and saying, that motherfucker?
Yeah. I'm sure. I think so because he does it all the time. Like, and when the other guys come, he's gonna, like, I'm like, how come they get to go out, man?
I want to go
at the same time every time. The guys brings them out at the same time. I'm sure he wants to get outside and be. How come
but does he have like a sense of gratitude that, man, it's freezing out there. I hope you motherfuckers are okay. I'm cool in here.
Yeah,
I'm cool in here. Right? Sometimes the guy doesn't help me wipe my ass, but shit. But that's that's part of it.
I remember years ago we had to find Casper. Remember Casper just darted out. We're like,
that's how it used to be. We get out here, we all ran out of here. Oh, we got out!
Son of a bitch! You go that way, you go that way.
We was all over the neighborhood.
Yeah, we did a whole block.
Found dog,
down by Key Food over there.
Yeah.
It was a trip.
Yeah. Like, what you said is, what was he thinking? Like, I can't.
Exactly. I can't do this no more. I gotta go.
Run! I gotta get out of here.
And then there's some pets you look at that just like, man, I ain't going nowhere. I get 2 squares here.
That's right.
If I'm not feeling good, they check me out.
Occasionally get your tummy rubbed.
Yeah, get you.
Lay down
a little bit, whatever.
Yeah,
it's New York. It gets cold in here.
It got pretty good over here.
February.
But I do think that they. I guess Pavlov's theory, whatever, you ring a bell, you do this thing. I do believe that because there's certain things like when I jingle his thing, he's shit. Or if I say, so it's funny because now I say, who's there? And he goes to the window and who's there? So if you say, who's there? He goes, somebody's there? Oh, and he comes out and he runs and he goes to the window and he goes, and he just comes out. And starts fucking looking and like, who is there? Well, I don't know. So I think he does have some sort of knowledge.
Uh-huh.
They adapt.
Yeah, they do, man. But I don't know, man. Hollywood, man, I think is responsible for a lot of what general public.
How much you gonna? How much you gonna buy into it? I mean, people, every once in a while, people talk about like awards and stuff, and so, so it's why did so and so get this award, and why did so get this award? Who gives a fuck?
Right.
Why do you care?
If you enjoyed the movie, you enjoyed.
Did you like it? Yes. Well, that's the only thing you can do. I got into an argument with this dude one time. He was talking about the newer Birth of a Nation.
Okay.
I can't. What's the guy's name? I can't remember. Nate.
Burgess? Nate? Nate Burgess is the Rachel Ray guy.
The guy that I can't remember his name.
I can't remember his name either.
But so he was talking about how he's hearing about how they're trying to like blackball this movie and stuff, and they don't want this movie to come out and blah 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 blah.
This was the son of the Nat Turner story.
Right. Yeah. And so I asked him. I said, maybe some of that's true. I said, what'd you think of the movie?
Right.
He said, well, I didn't see it. and I said, so the one thing that you could have done to demonstrate a sense of support to the movie, to give your $12.50 or whatever the fuck it is for the movie, you didn't do. So, but you want everybody else to like run the champion, but the one thing you could have done to support the movie, you didn't do.
That bugs me out. And I did see Icarus. I did watch it.
Huh? You saw Icarus? Yeah. What'd you think?
It's awesome. It's an awesome documentary about doping. It's about doping in Russia and how they fix the game. Now, the crazy part about that is, why isn't that fucking crazy? Like, that's crazy. Like, they literally show from how
a link from the Kremlin
to make sure that all of their players were superior. So this why I say Hollywood, because this was no different than Rocky IV with fucking Dolph Lundgren. With the we're gonna make us stronger, better, this and that. Boom, this guy's pounding bricks and shit. Right. And all of a sudden it was like, damn, these guys are engineering, themselves superhuman. And that documentary clearly shows the possibility to do it, the will to do it, and showing Grigovsky, whatever the guy, showing him as the rogue. He did this on his own, kind of. But I think that's what's happening. Harvey did this by himself.
He was on his own.
So y'all knew nothing.
Everybody disassociated with
his brother's like, let's just fire this motherfucker. Bro, I still cut you a check. You're still
part owner, but
right. But that's, I'm saying, in Hollywood, it's so easy to just manipulate and twist and augment the reality for people to dumb for entertainment, just so you could go up and go down, so you could have that emotional roller coaster, so you could cry, so you could laugh, so you could have some sort of a sense of reality. But when they weaponize it, when they turn it into something that says, hey, if we just keep showing this type of movie, we just keep showing, if you look at blaxploitation films, right? Which I'm a huge fan of. I watch all of them, everything from fucking Black Belt Jones. Oh no, if you watch Amos and Andy now, that shit is on Amazon. You can watch it on Amazon. Dude, that's some hard shit to watch, man. You seen this?
Yes.
These are white people.
Yes.
Acting like black people.
Exactly.
And you go down there and get that down there.
There was a whole entertainment industry of people in blackface.
Yep.
Yo, this minstrel stuff. I mean, you go fix that car there. You lazy son of a. All you like to do is sleep, and then he's trying to talk black.
Exactly.
Yo, it's crazy. It's hilarious. I'm like, why? I guess. When they say, why do people show it? When, remember Bill Cosby was trying to get rid of the Little Rascals and all that stuff. They show it. They show it on there. You gotta watch it. Your kids need to watch it, because they need to see what 1950s was depicting of people. And the Little Rascals is a good one, because the Little Rascals, they show a ton of times where there was some racial empathy.
Right.
But the kids were like, but he's my friend.
Right.
That's y'all problem. That's grown folk problem. Y'all created this. We just want to play.
We just want to play. We want to hang out.
Have fun. We want to have the gang. We want to and that, to me, says a lot to where Hollywood was intentionally trying to do some good and showing some good things and create race relationships, etc. But somehow somebody decided to get behind it and get an agenda.
Right.
Which goes to the son of Nat Turner story.
Right.
which is questions a lot about Christianity. You know what I'm saying? And the faith basis behind it. It was weaponized.
Gotcha.
It was taken over to show people like, listen, man, you can get yours in the afterlife, man.
Right. Turn the other cheek right now.
Don't pick that cotton, man. Master gonna whip you. That's what God said he's supposed to do.
Mm-hmm.
And let that man fuck your wife. Let it, you raise the kid. You get yours. You get a nice golden chair when you get upstairs.
Land of milk and honey
in your father's house, here's many mansions for you.
Isn't that so?
And I can't help but while I'm Christian and believe and have faith, you can't help but see how this was weaponized and said, oh, this is how you make somebody the fear of God. This is an elf on the shelf.
Yes.
You struck down my light.
Right.
Don't do it. Don't cross that red light.
Don't go against Master.
Don't run that red light. Guy's watching. And there's been several studies that show when people think they're being watched, they won't do something. And when they are watched, they just, when they're not watched, when they know no one's watching, there's no cameras, or they're broken, and so people just disregard.
People just do whatever they want.
Those traffic lights.
Traffic lights. They show buffet shit. Like people at buffet. They were like, oh, the buffet. He said when you go to a buffet, you tell them, oh, all the buffets are monitors and there's cameras at all the buffets.
Right.
People, you see people doing nice.
Right.
Oh, nothing. People just going, yeah. Put it back. Yo, it's disgusting.
Taking a bite and throwing it back.
Disgusting, man. I can't do those shits no more.
Oh yeah.
I can't do those.
People are sick.
Yeah, man. I kind of, that's no.
Yeah, it's a hard one.
That's a hard one. But yeah, man. So other than that, man, thank God my power's back on. Motion. No, because my light went off, and I'm like, why did the light go off? But, motion detection and dust is gone. So, what's up for the rest of the week, John? You working?
Yeah, back to work, finishing this crap.
So you were on. I remember you were on a TV show. What was that show you were on?
Fox 5.
You was on Fox 5 with
Saved the lead. Well, not saved the.
Yes, you did. You're a hero.
Saved her.
We got her out of the elevator that shut down. But it was so funny because then with us, our mentality is we have to go there before the firemen get there. Once the fire department gets there,
shut down.
They're tearing everything up.
So, they're tearing the equipment apart.
Yeah, they're breaking the door open, and they wanted to be on TV too, so they were dying to get there. So what's funny is I was down the block, maybe 6 blocks away, and I ran down there, and I could see the fire truck coming. I passed them. And he went to him. When he got to the front door, they trying to get in the super there. Said, no, let him in first.
Because they would have just yanked.
They had like a 6-foot crowbar. They were ready to get busy, man. They were like, oh yeah, we'll get the door open. Cameras on too, because Greg was standing in front of the door. They were dying to get there. But I got there from it. They're probably still a little pissed off at me.
Yeah. But I mean, there's like elevator tricks, right?
Elevator tricks. Simple to us.
Stick the thing in the little thing, turn it, pull the doors open.
Simple to us, but not to them. To them, it's like some big monster has them trapped and they can't get out.
Elevator monster.
Forget
monster.
That was a good M. Night Shyamalan movie.
Yeah.
Devil.
I didn't see that. It's the one in the elevator, right?
So one of them was involved, yes.
But it was all in the elevator. It was shot completely in the elevator. And they were just trapped in the elevator, and it was just people getting their asses scratched. What the fuck? That was you. I saw you. Stay over there, motherfucker. I was like, how could you film a whole thing in the elevator? He did it.
Yeah. I didn't see that.
I just saw another. Speaking of movies, I just watched another movie last night. Slight. I think it's like sleight of hand type of thing. Yo, I didn't even know this movie. I mean, you get lucky, you find something on Netflix or whatever. Yo, it's yeah, man. But you know who it is? It's that kid. It's the little black kid that plays in all these like Christmas nativity movies. He played in the Black Nativity. He can sing. I think he's like a singer and dancer kind of. He's really artsy-fartsy kid. He was in the one with Will Smith. What's the latest Will Smith one? It didn't do well in the box office.
Him and his son was in that planet or something like that? No.
No, that's Pursuit of Happiness.
Right. No, it was when they were like.
No, that's Afterlife.
Yeah.
That was like 2013.
I'm trying to think. What's his latest movie?
No, it was something where he was like super depressed. He was in this.
Okay.
When he gave his organs away?
No, I know.
Closer than that.
No, I know what you're talking about. He was depressed. He was depressed, and he was losing his company. Ed Norton was also in it.
Ed Norton was in it. Yes.
They had people. They sent people to him.
Okay,
right.
so the little boy who was one of the consciences.
Okay.
The consciences.
They did 3 ghosts on him, like the good, the before, the after, and it was kind of like a play on
the younger dude.
Yes.
He was in. He did the Percy Jackson movies too.
Yes.
Okay, yes, I know you're talking about.
No, he's not the Percy Jackson. That Percy Jackson, he killed himself.
The black guy?
Yeah, the kid who played Percy Jackson with the light eyes, he killed himself.
Maybe
He killed himself. Yeah.
But the young conscience that was in that movie.
He was a young black kid who played. It was kind of like the Ghost of the Christmas Past type of thing.
Right.
One
Yeah,
was
I know the movie.
Present, one was the past, and the British woman who plays.
Did she's love or something like that? Or
I Am Love. And he used to write these notes and send them away. But that movie was pretty good, actually, if you could catch it.
Yes.
So this movie with this kid plays in this. He's a card shark or whatever else. He's taking care of his sister or whatever else.
Okay.
And it's kind of weird because it goes from him doing card tricks and getting by, selling drugs on the side, trying to just get enough to get out of.
Right.
And he's fascinated by this magic trick that he went and put some shit in his arm. Like he went and screwed some shit into him, like
to help his performance. His magic trick.
So he could levitate shit. He could fucking he had powers. Yeah, he put a fucking electromagnet in it. So it turns out he was this scholar kid who fucking gave up his scholarship to take care of his little sister.
Okay.
And they were out on their own. And this motherfucker had a festering sore. He put some Grammatron inside his arm. Some Iron Man shit. And they're like, yo, that shit is infected, bro. He was like, I got it. He's putting peroxide on the shit every night. And he went so far that he put wires in his arm. Jerry-rigged himself. His arm was totally infected. But he could fucking
levitate stuff.
Yeah. Street performer. And motherfucker was doing all kinds of shit. And it was good, man. It was really good. It's called Slight. And the guy who played in, what's that movie? Psych? Or it was a show, TV show, Psych.
Psych?
Yeah. Psych. And he also played in Ballers. He was one of the
Ballers.
president. No, he was like the president of one of the clubs or something. Is that wrong? Yeah, so, it was a good movie. It was just a weird movie. And another one I caught, Netflix special, Deuces.
Oh, yes.
Rez Tate and Megan Good. Dope.
Deuces. I'm thinking of something else. There's another one called Deuce.
The Deuces with Method Man is with All About 42nd Street. Yeah. Back in the days.
Yes.
Deuces. No, I don't remember. Okay.
Nah, Deuces is pretty cool, man. Pretty cool show, man. It's pretty cool. But some really good flicks out there, I guess. Perfect timing for rain.
That's right. Netflix and chill, baby.
Netflix and chill.
So what's happening this weekend? Sports? Who's playing what? Is the World Series over?
No.
Oh, Yankees are out.
Yankees are out. It's they're even. 2 games to 2.
2-2.
2-2.
So
2 games to 2. I guess he's leading.
No, that's not right.
White.
Yeah. No, so Dodgers possibly. So Magic Johnson owns that team now, right? He's
part owner.
He's part owner.
Dodgers.
And
part owner.
That's becoming like a thing now. Like all the celebrities are getting buying into
Well, on one hand,
teams.
it's good because the black people are getting involved.
Sure.
Have more control. That's a good sign. Using their money to get
What about Usher owning the Cleveland thing?
Usher owns the what?
Cavaliers.
He's an owner of the Cleveland Cavaliers?
Yeah. What's up?
Hi, Ron.
Hey.
Man. How are you?
This is very innovative. I hope
Power was out for a while.
Come on, get in. You want to get in?
Get in.
Power was out.
We got Big Ron joining us, people.
very quickly.
Yeah, just throw it over.
What's happening?
Yeah. We're just getting all kinds of flavored guests.
Oh.
Oh, nephew.
This could be a platform.
Yes.
This could be a platform. Like you do it in the car, and then somebody just shows up in the car.
That's it.
All right, not bad.
You should go to different neighborhoods.
Yeah,
just pull up on the side.
Yeah.
Come on, I got a question for you.
Questions.
I got a cash cab.
Yeah, exactly.
Like
yes.
But we got
What are the 3 stages of government?
Yeah, man.
This is impressive.
It's all good, man.
How was your day today, sir?
1-1. That's the
Oh,
record.
shit.
You got 2 games?
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Same team, girls team.
The girls team played twice? Oh, okay. You do that in like one game?
2 different leagues. One is in Brooklyn and one with CYO.
Oh, so they're 2 different. So not the same team.
It's the same team.
Oh, the same
Different
team?
league.
But
Yeah.
2 different leagues.
So they played twice today.
Uh-huh.
Oh, Jesus.
That's nothing compared to...
Really?
Yeah.
Compared to like AAU summertime, they play like 3 games. And
Wow. Okay.
if you can get the time, if you can get them. And so, what age group is this? What do you
9
coach?
and under.
9 and under, girls.
Wow, they got a lot of energy.
The parents take them?
Mhm.
Or you have to like, oh, okay.
I don't bring no kids.
Meet me there.
I don't have no kids. I ain't bring no kids.
Yeah, those days.
Teron came out the no.
Nope.
No.
No.
You
when
have
I
any room in
did
your car? No, I don't.
When I did it, it was different because he played, and I coached, and I got the minivan. But we had PlayStation in here. We was jamming. We go down to Philly.
Best.
Huh?
Yeah.
That was the trip. Like the trip was getting.
can't
the
wait.
trip
It was the
getting
car
in
ride.
Yeah, the car
It
ride.
was the
Get
car
in
ride.
there. If you play well enough,
Nah, we had
they let you in the car.
It's like,
everybody wanted to be in the silver
All
bullet,
the high
man.
schoolers.
Everybody wanted to be in our car.
when the high school come out in here.
See, that's a lower version of that Harvey Weinstein shit. So you play nice.
I didn't
You
get in the
you
chair.
get in the car. and
Yo,
listen,
I had to play some third
game.
row in the back.
Yeah.
So I had a starting 5 with me at least. So we was never gonna forfeit the game. We all together. You know what I'm saying?
That's it.
But I had the PlayStation in the whip, and I had the pull down TV here.
Remember those?
Yo, we used to have, they go to town, and it was great. It was just no matter where we went. It was like, oh, what to play? And then we got the wireless controllers. It was like, oh, forget it.
Next level now.
Yeah.
Good times. Good times.
Good times. Good times, man.
times.
So nobody read a book?
Huh?
Nobody read a book?
Yes.
What book?
What you read?
The Business of 21st Century.
The
Robert
business of Robert who?
Robert Kiyosaki.
Robert Kiyosaki. Oh, okay.
Yeah,
I
I
don't
was
know.
reading that over the week.
Okay.
Was it any good?
Any good tips so far?
Yeah. Basically talking about network marketing, stuff like that. But I'm almost finished. There's like 10 more pages left.
I can't read for shit.
No?
No, man. My eyes just go click, 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 and I get super sleepy, and I'm like,
Too
ugh.
relaxing. Yeah.
I just want to go right to sleep.
Right.
Best thing to do on the train.
That's something you're looking for.
Best thing
Yeah,
to do on the train. Sit down, pick up your book.
yeah.
a good
I just
30
never
pages
picked
in.
up a book culture, like, and it sucks because sometimes I wanna. It's like that Jesse Small book. I'm like, I'll never finish this. I go 3 pages. And
What do you say?
you get like narcolepsy or something like that. But
That's my problem.
yeah, it makes me very sleepy. But I guess people use it to go to bed. Like some people say, read a book.
Sorry to interrupt. Did we talk about, the last time I saw you, you were on the news.
Yeah, we touched that.
We
slide.
just
You saving people on the thing. You want to tell like the superhero version of the story?
Well, the funny thing is,
Okay,
it
you
just
pulled off
happened
your
to be-
shirt and-
Well, it happened to be the producer of the one of the producers. That's what got me back in there.
Oh, because he was on the he was in
She
the
was
elevator.
in the elevator.
She
It
was
a
in the
woman,
elevator.
yeah.
Oh,
She-
okay.
So since it was her, then they were like, let's bring this guy back because they were impressed with how it was done, I guess.
So
She
what
was-
you Luke caged the elevator, ripped it open.
Oh, no, I had to just get control of it. I had I sent one guy up to the controller. I got on top of the elevator and rolled it up to level out on the floor. But what's funny is, as I first opened the door, I was gonna have her come right up, and my boss called me up. Do not take her out now until that door to the floor.
So
is
you level.
I was like, oh, okay. Because I'm all getting ready to just snatch her out.
Snatch up. Let's go!
Let's go.
Okay, because that little bit of you get a
Trying to make
freebie.
it come up.
You see those things they put on
phone.
YouTube about when they booby trap something, like they booby trap a phone.
They're
Like they have this,
shocking them.
yeah, they have, they'll have this dude like sitting next to a bus stop, and he's like he's asleep or passed out, but his phone is sitting there. So somebody will walk by and like grab the phone and walk off, but they've electrified the phone,
right.
and then they shock it, and so it's like it's hilarious. It's hilarious stuff.
Is it real? Is it real? Or
Yeah, no, it's
You
yes.
can't shock people like yes. You could kill someone like they get a heart attack
Just
or
give it a little
whatever.
shock, and they go, "Whoa, whoa."
I like the dollar bills and the fishnet, you know. And
they do things with purses.
String, yeah.
They do things with purses, like they'll have somebody like sitting there and like not paying attention to their purse, and somebody will take it and run, and then they'll look in the purse, and the purse like it has one of those packs in it, like one of those cash packs, and poof. It's
Good for you.
It's hilarious.
Yep. But that's like what's the Quinones on Channel 7. What would you do if this?
Oh yeah,
He has that show.
what would you do?
Yeah.
What would you do?
What would you do? You know, nothing, not for nothing. I think if you're a journalist, you really should be doing some other shit other than these little,
Yeah,
like,
little anecdotal.
these little anecdotal
Yeah.
things.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know,
Space fillers.
So aren't you supposed to be like researching something or
Yeah.
or
Give us some information.
right,
you know?
right? Yeah. Does Michigan have clean water yet?
Be informative. Exactly. How about that?
Do we know that? I mean, we'd like to know that stuff. That's the
How's
kind of stuff
Houston
I don't.
doing?
I don't
What's
care
going
what
on?
somebody would do if they're yelling at a kid.
Yeah. Oh, look what happens when this guy actually goes and talks to.
You were very upset at that, weren't you?
Yeah.
And then the person gets to give a soliloquy about their theory of life. Fuck all that. I don't want to hear that shit. You're a journalist. Figure why are my taxes so goddamn high? Help me out. Why is our fucking president
Can't
always
afford to live in
golfing
New York.
and on Twitter?
Yeah, but at what point does the office, like when you okay, everybody, we're covering so and so story and you're gonna go down to the fucking bar and put $20 bills down and see if people take it.
See people take it.
What kind of story is that,
Yeah.
boy? You know, like
Looking for a space filler. We got about 10 minutes to kill here on this show. Can you give us something?
but that guy's
I
been
got
doing that
something
for
stupid.
like a career. Like
That's what he's known
that's
for
his
now.
thing. Like
Yeah, I didn't know he was a
Quinones. Like, is that journalism? Is that really journalism? Nah, it's not really journalism.
I don't think you can call it journalism.
That's not journalism, bro. That's,
If you got an agent, you're not a journalist.
my thing is if you're producing it. Like, see, people with this reality TV, and I think really reality TV really screwed up media content because it's not reality. It's,
Right.
It's so
It's
produced.
scripted,
It's
yeah. Right.
so scripted. Whenever you get camera cuts, like one guy to the left,
Right,
one guy to the
exactly.
right, like there's a guy standing there going, "Cut the two," and then you're the, and you give it more. You know, what's the
Be more black.
yeah, but what's the one with Top 5, right? With Chris Rock, and he said, "Put some stank on it." Like, he said,
Some what?
Put some what?
Stank.
Stank.
You know, some stank. You know,
He
these
said,
guys
"Yeah,
smoke.
motherfuckers." This, that. Boom, dropped the mic, and he was like,
Oh,
"Oh
man.
shit, that stunk." Yeah, that,
Brian Regan. Brian Regan's hilarious.
yeah, man. That's
Brian
that,
Regan's a hilarious comedian.
that-
He's a clean comedian too.
Brian Reed.
Brian Regan.
Regan.
He performs clean.
I didn't see him. But that was him when he was
The
in the
the stank dude. Yes,
Yeah.
that's Brian Regan. He's a
That was
long time
great.
comedian. Long time comedian.
That's funny.
But he's a clean comic. He tells this story about when he was in Boston. He went to Boston, did a couple shows in Boston, went to this dive bar in Boston, and his friend introduced him to Irish car bombs. To drink Irish car bombs, you drop the thing in.
Oh, like a Boilermaker.
Right.
Like we call him Boilermaker.
Something like
right?
that.
Yeah, the shot, yeah.
No, but it's different. It's different. I can't remember what it is, but it's called an Irish car bomb. I think it's Guinness and Jägermeister or something like that, or whatever. I can't remember what it is.
Ouch.
But so he got those and did that. And then the next time he came back to Boston, he went to the same bar without his friend, and he couldn't remember the name of the drink.
Okay.
And so he met these dudes and became real friends and stuff like that. And he says, "Hey, get these guys some money." He couldn't remember the name of the drink. He says, "Get these guys some mudslides." And the bartender says, "Are you sure?" He said, "Yep. Mudslides for everybody." And they come out with them and he's like, "Hey, this is
Milk.
doesn't look like
Tough
you know,
drink.
what it is."
It's not a tough. This is what all the rave of what you talked about.
Yeah.
But that like people who work at bars that can't make drinks are pretty fucked up. Like like
Okay. Yeah, your existence needs to be questioned.
Exactly.
If you can only make the 6 drinks that's on this program
yeah,
list,
man. I mean,
you
like,
got flair.
You're not
You
putting
can
any
do all
effort
your.
into your
I
craft.
mean,
you
especially
all
the
your-
classics, like the Cosmos,
Right.
the Sex on the Beaches, all the.
You do it
If,
on
if you ask for Harvey Wallbanger, I don't think you'll get it.
Yeah.
Right.
But is that
But
really
they'll
Harvey
honestly say,
Wallbanger?
hey, what's
Did
that?
that come from Harvey Wallbanger?
Who knows?
Whoa!
Oh, man, maybe. Maybe.
Harvey
Harvey
Wallbanger.
Say, did you hear what's going on next door?
Yeah,
At
Harvey
the time I was having this drink. Give me the
That fucking Harvey's banging on the wall again.
or white
Harvey
Russian.
Wallbanger.
Is our power back on? Yes, sir.
Yeah, power's back on, man. The guy just walked out.
The microwave is running.
That's your way of saying you want to go.
I need some need.
Gotcha.
Enjoy.
Good luck.
Good to see you, brother.
Thanks for coming on.
Thanks for coming
Tehran.
There's a little bit of a problem here. This door doesn't open.
At all? It's childproof?
No, it's got a.
Once you're in the studio, you can't come
Once you're in the booth,
Once you're in the booth, you can't get out. Exactly. You got to sign a contract.
Weinstein.
You got to sign it. That's that Weinstein door. That's that Weinstein door.
2 bros logging off.
Later, Ronnie.
This is dope.
I'm glad you got out the Weinstein door. The Weinstein locked. Oh, that door doesn't lock, honey. That's crazy. I guess we're going to have to make some kind of deal and see how you get out.
You want to leave now? You want to leave
Super
later?
warm tropical wind outside. It's like really weird.
This weather all
80
together.
degrees,
This weather's been weird.
This weather is, oh my goodness. I'm not complaining though, you know what I'm saying?
No, I know. I mean,
I feel sorry about that one polar bear trying to find the next patch of ice though. Swimming his
That's
little
so
heart
fucked
out. He's swimming his heart out trying to find the next patch of ice.
That was so sad though. Tell me that wasn't sad.
Well, I missed this. What happened?
The polar caps are shrinking from all this, global warming that's going on. So, I guess gotta imagine these polar bears are so used to the ice caps being around, they can just swim from one to the other, find food. But then you have that one that's just swimming, and that polar cap is just nowhere to be
just kept
seen.
swimming and swimming.
Because it melted away.
To go?
It melted away. The ones that the polar cap that they are used to going to are melting away, reducing drastically.
Yeah, I guess that's like when we talk about with the dog, like where he's gonna run somewhere and he thinks he's going somewhere. And he goes, wait, what's something here?
It used to be.
What's going on here?
Right.
Used to be full of penguins and everything. It's just gone now.
Come over here and get something to eat.
Melted away.
Shit. Fucking gentrification. Put my shit away.
Fucking Brooklyn ain't the same.
I used to
bro.
get a damn. How does this happen, man? And they're fucking up. If you're
Where's all the
fucking up
eggs?
the pork fried rice.
super chickens.
This weather is something else.
Nah, it is.
But we're gonna pay.
But also on the flip side, that means that the
means we're
warmer
gonna-
climates are colder now.
Well, we're gonna pay for this. So
Yeah,
I mean, we always do. It's like February.
mudslides in New York.
Something.
No, I'm just saying we dodged a lot of. New York has dodged a shitload of bullets. From,
Yeah.
You'd be in California, but we have different problems. Like look at my trees here. Like all this neighborhood here, this is infected. The trees.
This tree's gotta come. This tree's gotta go.
This
one's
since
gotta drop.
Sandy, I'm telling you, since Sandy, when all of this water came here,
Right.
like we were flooded. Like I watched a river flow down this street. Like, oh, look at that car. Like it just, it just came like and it got to the T right here. And it's which way do we go, left or right? And it just went down the block.
Spread out.
It just went down the block like water. Like what?
That was something else.
And it was crazy. And then there were fish in the yard. There was big bass and all kinds of big. They were running around with a megaphone. Don't take the fish, please. It's contaminated. It's mixed with sewer water. And
Don't eat the fish.
yeah, but you are right. We're gonna pay. We're gonna pay dearly. But
It's gonna. It usually does come around and get us. At some point.
I think the toughest thing about New Yorkers is that we're a four-season city.
Right,
We're-
right.
So we're kind of used to all four.
Right.
The only difference now is you're just not putting shit away.
Right.
Like my winter coat's out, my summer coat's
and
out.
your sport jacket is out.
Yeah,
It's just, you got all
everything's in one bin. Like I'm like, okay, I'm ready for whatever. So
Right.
it used to
What we
be,
gotta do.
put the summer clothes in the garage and then bring this out, this out.
November
Now it's like we're living out of the same.
I might be one day, right?
Yeah, you're wearing the same stuff every time, so it's really fucking weird though. But I will say, man, I bought. That's why I got my snowblower.
You're ready. You got a snowblower. You got a generator too, right?
I got a generator there. I got a snowblower. I bought a sump pump.
Some pump is used.
So when the apocalypse comes, find you. You just
Come here.
Go to Chad.
Come here. That's why I was like, when the power went out, I was like, oh. Especially the fact I was home by myself. I was like, oh. The worst thing was this, the podcast. I was like, man, how are we
The
going to record?
show must go on.
I was like, the show must go on. I was like, fuck it, we're going to record. We're going to record in the car.
Two bros recording.
Well, you know what the funny thing, what made me decide it is that I had the backdrop in the back.
car.
And I pulled it up and I was like, oh, this is great. It's like a fucking studio. We're here. So, shit, we might do this. We might take this down Ocean Parkway
Might
and
be
just
doing
drive
that.
down.
Might just do it when we're
Do a
driving.
nice 2-hour drive.
Just drive and pull up to a drive-through.
Yeah.
And whatever.
But GoPro is, I mean, these GoPro mounts is just, I love detachable.
The gadgets.
Yeah, I'm a gadget
Uh-huh.
freak, man. I just can. Anytime you can clip something to it, attach it to that, put it on something, I'm down,
Suction
man.
cup, everything.
Yeah, I got it all the stuff.
Oh, let you know, we I meant to CC you in the email I sent, but I sent the animated a clip
Oh yeah.
that he's gonna animate. We're gonna get some of these older clips. We're gonna get them animated, like a 5-6 minute video.
We have
He's
one
gonna
now
animate.
which came out crazy, which is a
Yeah.
little funny.
Dying to see it.
Oh,
You guys
man.
look animated.
It's so funny.
it's
This
gonna
guy
be
drew
nice.
me only. It was only me, and I'm like, that's me. Yeah.
Well, he
And I
did.
was like,
He took the pocket. He just took a little snippet of the story, and he gave an example. And whatnot. And he's a student. He's a student at my daughter's college. So he's cheap, and he wants to
That's it.
build up his portfolio. So I said,
We'll do
okay,
it.
well, let's do it for this.
Yeah,
super fun,
That's
man.
cool.
Super fun.
It's
Excellent.
gonna be great. I'm gonna see if he can. Once I figure out that Skype recording thing, I wanna see if he'll do the podcast after we get
Yeah,
the
I
first.
think we might have better luck on Duo. Like I tried it on Duo.
Oh, Duo?
Yeah,
Okay.
Google Duo
Okay,
or Google Hangouts. Like, see, Google Hangouts, we put like 4 or 5 people in there.
you can record,
Yeah.
but you got to record in Google, though, right? But you couldn't do it like you couldn't put it on the GoPro.
I probably.
I mean-
I think so. I could do it from my laptop. Like,
Okay, and it gives you a file to save.
yeah, it'll give me a file.
Okay.
So I'll do QuickTime on my laptop, and bring in a podcast.
Yeah, I tried the one I tried before. It just came out as shit.
You did the regular iOS.
No, it was I can't remember the name of the program, but it's a program. It's a Skype recorder,
Oh.
and but it just didn't come out right
Supposed
now.
to be side by side.
I got it didn't come out. There was no video and the audio was crappy.
Oh, okay.
So I got to check it out to make sure
there's
that I have
nothing.
the
So there's
settings.
nothing to have.
Yeah, no,
nothing playing
no,
on.
there's nothing there. I mean, you can hear it, and I think your voice is all jacked up. John, how the kids?
Very good.
Yeah.
Kids are good?
Going through a situation where, see, he wants to drive, wants his own car.
Woo! How
Trying
old
to debate 18 now. So I'm trying to debate, do I give him, I don't know, of course this is going to be live, but
Hey man, once you put it on print, yeah. Dad, you said on episode
well,
8.
I
You
told him to
said
get through school. I mean, school's not done yet till
Right.
June. It's only October.
So we'll talk about it.
We're going
right.
to talk
So you
about
got
it.
time. You got
Get your
time.
money up because driving's not cheap.
No man.
No, it's not.
You know?
I mean,
And
he
then
learned
when you can drive, you can run some errands.
Exactly.
You know, say,
Pick
hey,
some things up for me.
exactly. We gotta pick something up.
Right.
So your mom needs to ride to the grocery store. And,
Listen, this guy learned that way. You live here. You got your sister need to be picked up by 5.
Right.
I need to be here. You need to go there. So you got to chip in.
Exactly.
Contributing member here. But
But the transition from driving your vehicle to getting his own vehicle, that's what I'm mentally going through right now in my head.
yeah, I mean, for him it was a little bit easier because like when I taught him in my minivan,
Right.
it was like, wow, you could drive this, you could drive anything. You know what I'm saying? And he was patient with it. Like my daughter's like, can we drive? I said, yes, crazy. Driving crazy. So I keep telling her like, until you learn how to ride a bike, you ain't driving a car.
you stuck him in the car so you would go out and just drive, like driving a parking lot
Well,
or whatever.
he did his test. He drove with
No, what I mean but like you and him, not the not the
yes,
actual
yeah.
test.
No, we did that. We did that every once in a while.
But
Just
yeah,
to
was
and
he
from.
depending on your vehicle? How soon did he get his own vehicle?
So when he went to college, I bought him his car. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
When he left for school, I got it. After his freshman year, they said there was no cars available.
Right.
So only in his sophomore
Sophomore
year,
year.
a buddy of mine had a car. He was timing, and he was like, "Look, I got this thing, 2,500.
There you go.
It was an Infiniti
That's what I'm
i30.
I remember that car.
Yeah, his gold car.
Right,
It
yeah.
was like, it's drivetrain. It ain't gonna fail on you. You good. He was like, don't worry about this. This is a sturdy car. And I was like, really? Oh, okay. I said, well, listen, you gonna take it up to school with him, just to go to and from
Right,
the Walmart
right.
and pick up supplies and stuff. In fact, the campus they just drove back and forth to the gym
Right.
because it was so far and it's cold up there. You know
Right.
what I'm saying? Poughkeepsie, it'd be snow and 10 feet of snow. And that's how they I think a plow crashed the bumper. It was sitting there and the car was
Tell me
under a
about
pile of
that,
car,
yeah.
a
Tell me
pile
about
of
that,
snow.
yeah.
So I'm like, dude, you cannot get in that car and start it with the tailpipe was covered in snow packed
Right.
in. You
Right.
fucking kill yourself.
Yeah.
Look,
I don't understand.
Why am I feeling lightheaded? I don't understand what's happening right now.
Bad Santa or something.
Yeah. That's all.
Yeah, man. So that was the thing, and we found a nice little hoopty that was quote unquote reliable. You know what I'm saying? And it was a great car. That Infiniti i30 served him the remaining of his 3 years left in school.
Excellent. $2,500, good investment.
And when
He had his own insurance at the time, or he?
No, that was under mine.
Okay.
So that was my second car.
That was a little bit of a hit. Or was it?
No,
Okay.
no, because you know
You
what?
didn't miss any insurance?
No.
Oh,
Actually, we got lucky because his address, he didn't live here. He lived in Poughkeepsie.
Good.
At school.
Gotcha.
So,
He wasn't on your policy per se.
nope.
Perfect.
Nope. And the minute we mentioned it, my shit went up. Because when he wanted to buy his car, he was like, look, when he graduated school, and he did, and his birthday came in October, he was like, I'm going to buy a car. He saved up his money and whatever else he wanted to go see, and he was looking, he was trying to get a Tesla and all this stuff. It's like, dude, wow. You deal with whatever car. I never had a car the same year. He bought a 2017 in 2016. And I was like, I never bought a car the future.
Never put a future car.
Like,
You
it's
want to do this.
2016, and I'm going to buy a 2017, and that car is crazy. That Genesis that you got, crazy. The lights come on, and the projection shows on the floor, shows the logo. Yeah, it's crazy. She got all kinds of.
What's that logo on the car when you turn?
Yeah, it shines. It's supposed to be a safety thing. You know, like give you light.
Oh, okay.
It's
okay.
really the light to get into the car, but they conveniently place the logo.
Place the logo.
It's like a fucking bat signal shines on the floor. Batman's here. Yeah, I think you could change it too.
But he's paying for it. He's as long as he can
He went
afford
on his
it,
own
that's all
insurance.
good.
He bought the car his own. When they found out how much my insurance went up, it was cheaper for him to get his own.
Oh, okay.
And he went and
Same
got it.
company?
Yeah.
Same insurance?
So what happened was we went through we did all those other ones, and it was like a nightmare, like sitting at the dealer all day long trying to work. They like let me try to talk to my boss so we get the deal, get this. It had nothing to do with the cost of the car. It had everything to do with the insurance.
Yep.
So when we tried putting them on the insurance, the number jacked up, and I was like, okay, this is what you owe us. What? And then we got all these other bids, and the best thing ever that we did was I said, listen, now that you got Allstate with the numbers from this one, we've been with Liberty Mutual 20-something years. We've been with them for car insurance, and they have my house insurance with both. So you need to call them up and say my parents are great customers, etc. And the only thing they did was make sure that his mother was a co-insurer with him.
Okay.
Not a co-signing. It had nothing. It's not financial. It's a co-insurer that she was also gonna be a part of that. And they gave him a thing that goes in the
Right, in the car.
yeah, it plugs into the thing and it talks.
Like a safe driving thing?
Yeah, but it
If
has
you're gunning it or racing, it's gonna
yes.
blow you
If you
up.
accelerating too far, it's a snitch.
Yeah.
A snitch box.
Big time.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Big
super
time
snitch
snitch
box,
box.
dude.
Really?
It's like-
I
yeah.
never heard that before.
I couldn't have it on my car.
So Verizon has it. Verizon has it called Hum.
Okay.
Verizon has one called Hum, which is you plug it in there and you hook it up to your phone, and then every so often it sends back to your insurance company. It shows how many times you cross the lane. It shows you making because you have lane. He can't take off any of the safety features. So he could cut off in the car physically. He could cut off lane. When you
The lane,
yeah.
right, lane notification and stuff like that.
He could cut that off,
But it will still register.
It voids the safe driving thing. No, under this program, you want to save 10%? We'll give you a node on the thing.
Okay.
That's how it happens.
Okay. All right.
So they're gonna watch you.
Yeah.
And a computer tells you what to do. So I'm assuming someone can hack into this thing. And
Yes,
probably
exactly. That's the next thing.
Make me a great driver.
Yeah, make me a great driver.
That's right.
Don't put this 85 and a 30.
That's
I'm
right.
doing right now.
Yeah, I
you
mean,
were doing 40.
but that's weird in itself. Like, you now have a computer telling you that, I'm like, that's why I don't drive your car, bro. I was like, I'm not driving your car.
Mess it up. I'm gonna mess you all up.
What line?
You have that in your car?
No way. No way.
What lines?
I get a little carried away. I gotta put you in.
Yeah. The door should be open if you didn't.
Woohoo! All right. One bro short.
It's all good, man.
One bro short. Taping must go on.
Taping must go on, man. We keep the show live running, so yeah, John. Nah, I don't edit shit.
Everything's going
We going
straight.
straight. We going straight. We don't
We're
edit.
live like right now. So somebody can look at us right now.
So we're live on Instagram on his phone there. So that
Okay.
one, he's live Instagram. They're probably watching. I can't see that far. My glasses don't work that far.
Yeah, maybe comments on there.
They are coming. I see people chiming in. But
Okay, wow.
I don't know who. Can't
His
see that.
friends.
They're on his face. Yeah, his friends. But ours is filming straight. And this is only just showing me as a monitor of what we're seeing so that we could know that we're in field of view. But this is it's filming 1080.
Okay, so we should, when he gets back, we should check the comments. Maybe someone has a question.
Maybe somebody has. I mean, I wanted to do a live session one time, but when we used to film in the back over here.
Yes.
And my signal wasn't good. Like, I wasn't getting a real good signal. So it was. And it was kind of weird. Like, we kind of need someone to do this.
Yes.
I can't do it and talk and then.
Exactly.
So we're like, let's not do the comments. That wasn't a good thing. You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
Let me expand.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm saying we now.
Yeah, it's all right. You got
big
big plans, man. Yeah. Listen, we're trying to get some good quality guests on here. Some people bring some food through, bring some.
Yes, I saw that. But like, he's gonna be in the car. I was gonna make a stop on the way here.
Now
I left earlier because I was gonna be.
Oh,
I was
yeah.
gonna make a stop. And I saw it was raining. So he was in the car. I'm like, I can't fit anything in the
And
car.
it was funny because when the power blew, I was like, oh man, what are we gonna do? And the, when this. That what do you call it? Transformers?
Yes, when they go.
Boom!
Yes.
That joint went. I was like, oh
Hear it.
shit! And I looked out the back and I saw a big cloud of smoke and I was like, oh shit!
Yep.
Thank God with PSE&G, which I have.
They came right out.
You text them.
Nice.
I have a text.
Hey, power's out.
All you do is text out to it, and it says, "Oh, I see you've reported a outage."
That's so great.
Yo, it was pretty good, and I did it right away. And they said estimated time before 8 o'clock. Which, as you can see, you saw the guy. He did it at 4 o'clock. So he's out. And the lady, she called me. She said, "Do you have anything to tell?" I said, "I heard an explosion, so it sounded like a transformer." She said, "Oh, that's good to know, because that means we know it's not a line down."
Yes.
They go right to the problem. They went right to the problem. That's what I actually believe I helped them fix it a little faster.
That's it. You had something to do it. You reported it?
No, because I reported it and told them that it was exactly. Told them it was a transformer that blew. And they went right to the problem. So,
check your comments. I want to see if anybody's seeing anything that you should be responding to.
No.
Okay. What was that? That was easy.
Hold on.
That was easy.
It could be something.
yeah, maybe it is. I can't see it. We got more? Any more in there?
No.
Okay. What is
No beers in there?
The evolution of Moni
That's who's on
has
there.
joined.
Who's that? That's my mom, right?
Don't say who that is. Who is that? It's like me saying, who's T. Whitfield?
Yeah. So you got both of y'all wives on there.
That's right.
Okay, making sure.
Well,
Making sure everything's being politically correct.
Maybe.
Make sure I'm behaving. I always do.
Yeah.
Wink, wink.
So I want another Bruce. Any more Bruce in there?
Yes, the second one.
Several.
Oh, him. Oh,
It's
okay.
three of us. Come on. 2 bros plus 1 today. Come on.
2 bros plus 1.
Tres bros.
So we hit on a couple of things. I mean, to all the women, and for anyone who sees us in a vehicle with road sodas, we are not driving.
No, we're not.
Okay?
We're parked
And
outside the house.
Nor do we condone the libation while driving. So please be responsible. And for all the Me Too's out there that are said they're coming forward, we sympathize with you. The casting couch is real, and we believe that at some point you said yes.
What?
At
So
some point,
they felt they didn't have a choice, I guess. They
Yeah,
felt
but-
like, and they wanted that contract, or they wanted.
Oh, okay.
But
they
do you
wanted
want to
that
be in
role, or they
Hollywood that
wanted
much? Or
check.
do you want that job that much? I mean, at some point,
Let them do.
at some point, we all said yes. I think we all. What I'm saying is, and I'm not demeaning anyone for going through what they're going through, because trust me. But I'm saying at some point, you allow to be taken advantage of, whether it's your job, whether it's your, anything in life, you allow at some point, which is why some people snap.
Yeah.
Some people have a low breaking point. Some people can tolerate a lot of yo, telling me this, telling me that, and,
Right.
go fucking clean that bathroom up, motherfucker, and do this. But some people can't do that. Some people I have a lot of friends, like years ago, I used to get everybody jobs at Pergamon and Cheap John's and all this stuff. Yo, I ain't gonna be good. Your white man ain't gonna talk to me like that. And I'm like, it's a job, dude.
Yeah.
Like he happens to be white. Okay, so what? He's the boss, and someone has to clean the bathroom.
Right.
And you said yes.
And you said yes.
You said
here.
yes. You said, yeah, I'll do whatever it takes, man. Whatever we can do.
Right.
And then the minute they tell you, yeah, well, somebody took a shit in the we had the smock toilets in Pergamon, like. Home Depot. Think of Home Depot.
Right.
Okay, you sell toilets.
Right.
People used to shit in them.
Oh,
People used to piss in them.
Somebody got I would whoop their ass if I saw them.
Oh, man.
Almost every month, someone would shit in a sample
Jesus
toilet,
Christ.
man. A vignette. That's what they would call it. They call it a vignette.
Shit.
Someone would always shit in there, dump it, or a kid would.
They would think it was really funny too, I'm sure.
Oh man, it was like.
Probably a kid taking a piss.
It was not 9 times out of 10. It was a kid
Uh-huh.
who takes a piss in one of them, and
Little
it's
drunk
like,
kid, little drunk guy.
And so I remember when we built the vignettes. I keep calling it vignettes, but that was like a big thing. And I was like, okay, if this keeps happening to us, so we put in a bin underneath it, like
To catch it.
yeah, because they were raised up anyway.
Okay.
So
So
we
create a
put
false
the-
bottom
We
and
put
then-
a false bottom in it and just put a bedpan under it, like
Yeah,
a dollar days. We used to have
wash
dollar
it
days
out.
there with a little plastic bin. So at least you could just take the bin and chuck it, and then
Right.
You know, it's easy
wipe it out.
cleanup, but
Easier
not-
cleanup.
fucking scoop it out and still.
That's disgusting.
Put the gloves on, man.
Ah man.
Put the gloves on. That's being Weinstein too. When
Put the gloves
you gotta put the gloves on.
But I think everybody's taking some jobs they didn't like in life, and
absolutely.
some weird positions, and but it's the crutch. We said you hope that you evolve, you get past it, and you move on, and But man, it's tough. It is tough. So what else is up for the rest of the week? We're all back at work here.
It's gonna be in November soon. I'm gonna be looking for Thanksgiving.
Man,
The time is flying so fast. It's gonna be here before you know it.
Yep.
Then Christmas. Then it's gonna be New Year's already. And like we just live from season to season now. We don't
Yeah,
even go by days.
you're
Yeah.
right. You're right. It just goes.
Time
It
goes
goes
too
holiday
fast.
to holiday.
Is it? That's it.
So you got what? Veterans Day coming up next week.
Next week, the
Weekend
11th.
after that? 11th.
It's on a Friday, so I'm taking it off.
Oh, you're taking another Wednesday?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it is.
Election Day,
It
I'm
is on a
probably
Friday. Why is
Yeah, it's on Friday this year.
So I thought Monday
Election
was...
Day's on a Tuesday. Then
Oh, Election Day is okay.
And
So
that
11th.
Friday is Veterans Day. So I'll work Election Day, vote, of course. Everyone should vote. And then Friday is Veterans Day. To
Indeed.
acknowledge my fallen heroes.
No, listen. For military,
That's a good one.
ex-military guy
I
here.
didn't pay attention to it.
But for those people that I guess how we always go to this and we talk about the politics of veterans and sports, and so is Veterans Day going to be any different in just taking a knee challenge and all this other
I
stuff?
don't even know where we are with that shit. I don't even-
But that's the bad part about it, is that it just made it so like, well, I don't even give a fuck.
Well, Trump he had no business getting involved with that. But he gets involved in everything he has no business getting involved in. They can't put a leash on him. They can't control him. He's just out of control.
Yeah, but you know what? At some point, you gotta watch the magic trick, right? It's like, I'm doing this here, and I'm punching you here.
Yeah, exactly.
Somebody's getting
Hence
punched in the face.
Smoke and mirrors.
hence the JFK files that are going
Right.
to get released.
Right.
Oh, I'm
It
releasing the
happened.
JFK
Came out.
files.
Came
So,
out.
okay, so yeah.
The site crashed. I went on it.
Yeah?
it for sure to look for whatever.
What'd you find?
Nothing.
Yeah, exactly. So
I mean, no.
now the
okay.
next is going to be Roswell. Roswell's going to be the next thing.
So there was some good documents there, and there was some different interesting things about how much influence was captured from other countries in those files. So
Okay.
they talked about how Russia was quick to say we had nothing to do with it.
Mm-hmm.
with their leaders and everything else, and they were like, "You guys are fucked up. You guys did," and there were files about how they were explaining how people were asked that question. What would you think about if an American president was killed before it happened?
Mm-hmm.
So they're saying, why would you ask that? Like, who? What's the purpose of asking this survey of why? What's your opinion of an assassination?
Mm-hmm.
Does it give you a better impression of our country, or do you think less of us?
Right.
So that's interesting, because that means that someone had some sort of a plan or thought about it.
Right.
Somebody thought about it. But I guess, Abraham Lincoln and etc. So you can go back as far as you want,
Smoke and mirrors.
Smoke.
It's all smoke and mirrors. It's all like, I'm gonna release the jet. Okay, fine, it's released. So now what? Does this mean?
Now let's burn California while they're not looking.
They're right, exactly.
Yeah, well, they're saying that there was no like ash. Everything was like disintegrated.
Yeah.
Trees.
That's a whole nother conspiracy that I can't even.
They're saying, okay, well, we know the area was on fire by Anaheim and the Sonoma Valley. They're saying that there's no remnant stuff like that. Everything's completely flat.
Right.
Like there's no tree stumps, there's no houses,
There's no debris.
no debris.
There's no
Like
frames of houses
some kind
standing.
of accelerant was added to this fire. Or some kind of
So something was added to make the fire hotter? Is that what you're saying?
right. They're saying if you go and look at the damage from this fire, you won't see any traces of houses or trees.
Okay.
So
That's
in
a
the
problem.
conspiracy world,
That's the problem, because if there's a fire, you see the house. You know what I mean? After the fire's put out, you see the house. The frame is all burnt up, but you still see something. So they're saying everything disintegrated.
so they're showing the same concept of 9/11 of disintegration. They're showing the same, and they're showing like there's not even people going in and doing the Kelvin test to how do you melt a washing machine,
You know?
refrigerator.
What type of
A
heat?
stainless steel refrigerator, no even granite
Copper
tops
piping.
on counters are not there. Like if you burn all the wood, the counters, the granite ain't going nowhere. You ain't
Right.
burning granite. You're not 3,000 Kelvin heat. That's the sun. Like so, they're saying how come and there's plastic garbage cans parked and a plastic mailbox. But the whole house is gone. Fucking guy's got a plastic mailbox. A little
That's
Home
still
Depot
there.
still there. Papers and stuff flying around, but everything else is gone. So there is some people going, "What the fuck?" They can't explain it. Some people are saying that, well, stuff had been removed, like cleaning crews have come through. But no one can.
Where's
There's
the
no
debris
carting
at?
company there. There's no
Where's the
agreement.
debris?
There's no carting company that can say that they took stuff away. And if they did, where'd it go?
Landfill, right.
Where did they dump it? Like 9/11, they depicted and they dumped it in one place, and then one guy got the contract to clean up all this other stuff. So these are what the conspiracy theorists are really harping on, saying this was some. Speaking of HARP, which is some sort of HARP ray, etc. Some Death Star ray. Some fucking really crazy shit. I don't know if you guys ever seen this. Maybe a year back, almost a year to date, in what was it, Switzerland or New Zealand, where like 3,000 reindeers just dropped dead, like in the middle of
I saw that. I remember that.
Remember that shit?
I remember that.
So this is the same thing. They're saying that this ray that they have testing.
Just wipe stuff out.
Yeah, and somebody's pushing the wrong button. You fucking not California, fucker. It's like somebody missed.
Yeah. It's so crazy.
Like the science of it is not there with the tracking and I guess the pointing it at certain things. So again, these are what
the access to it.
right. These are what a shitload of conspiracy guys are saying, that you can't. They just don't see it being possible to have this disintegration of stuff. Like there's no frame, and they're showing comparable to fires on fucking of houses that rows of houses that the frame is still up,
right?
The timber, the wood is still there, the shit that won't, like your pipes, the pipes itself, your steel pipes.
Right.
You know, in the cartoons, remember the house and the pipes are left in the guy's toilet, the tub. Where's the tub? The tub don't go. You can't melt the tub. And the paper mailbox is still there. Like, that's crazy. So they're really. They have some there are some valid things there, but I mean, I guess you just can't explain. You know, the fact that it's unexplainable makes it people saying, "Aha, you can't explain it." So something's weird. Yeah, but then again, when you've never seen that before, like, do you know what it's like to fucking burn a fucking 1,000 degrees? With wind, like wind itself is an accelerant. So if they're saying the high winds.
Spread it.
That's kind of tough, man. That's kind of like saying blowing a flame. It makes it a blowtorch.
Right.
So it is an accelerant. It is a fucking damn near laser. But it's pretty weird. I mean, I saw some footage that pretty look fucking. And now they're even talking about this Geostorm movie. And again, it goes to Hollywood. They keep pushing Hollywood to show you this is okay. We're gonna have one of these. And Gerard Butler's gonna save you. What fucking guy?
Or the Rock will come in his helicopter.
San Andreas Fall. Dude, that movie, while I enjoyed it, go back and watch that movie and look at 3,000 people in the water. Go, help us! And I gotta get my daughter.
I just want to get my daughter.
You know, like everything is monolithic to the one people in the story. You know what I'm saying? Like, and they do a shitty job of cropping out the rest of the world. Like, you know, they
dying.
just. It's a movie. I know that.
I think we give movies too much credit.
I think so.
I think we give them too much credit. We say, "Oh, that couldn't have happened." So who gives a fuck?
It's a movie.
Couldn't have happened. It's a movie.
Entertain you.
It's not meant to inform you of anything. It's not meant to make like a what if scenario and put some legitimacy to it. It's meant to entertain you and stuff.
But at the same time, when we said earlier before, it's the same playing with your emotions, like to do it and to make you roller coaster ride up, down, make you feel a certain way, and then make you have a response. Oh, I'm gonna buy this now. You're buying clothes because you see them in movies. You're buying
that's
products.
right.
You're buying things. You know, it's the effect of it is real. People didn't do certain things until certain movies came out.
No, the effect of it is real if you allow it to. If you allow it to influence you.
Yeah, but the general population is so dumb.
It's so influential.
It's so dumb that more people will say yes than they will say, "Hey, wait a minute, this is a movie."
Well, okay.
I think the masses.
That remains to be. That's
we
right.
Can't prove it.
I understand
that.
Right. I understand that. But then at the same time, then you have to ask yourself, okay, then so why aren't other things being done? Why aren't after we saw Planet of the Apes, why aren't people raising more chimpanzees or something like that, or just?
You're right.
Yeah, I mean,
if that lady got beat up by that one chimpanzee.
Well, she's kind of
everyone's scared of chimpanzees.
She kind of forgot the general principle, and that this is an very strong, wild animal.
And they play like they like
ain't yeah, exactly, right. This ain't your friend.
They just playing with you.
Just playing with
like
you.
A fucking tiger or a lion,
right?
Putting his paw on you. It's just like, hey man, I'm sorry, I'm ripping your flesh. It looks like it's fun to me. But people just like you said, you may be right. I think people
thought they were safe with Michael Jackson, but then after that, forget it.
Speaking of Michael Jackson, I stumbled upon Michael Jackson's Halloween. It's like a special. Michael Jackson's Halloween. It's an animated thing.
Just ask.
Trick or treat.
Just ask.
Yo, it's weird.
Jesus Juicy or something.
It's something weird. It's some kind
Produced
of like
by Harvey Weinstein.
It's like one of those Tim Burton type of things, like a
cartoon.
Yeah, it's really wonky and it's weird. It's like one guy's walking a dog, the other girl's trying to delivering pizzas or something, and They find out that there's this magical place with Michael Jackson and pumpkins fucking dancing, doing moonwalking shit. I was like, what the fuck is this? Even my wife came and she was like, what are you watching? And he's like,
What are you watching?
Do. And it's like, oh, Halloween. Michael Jackson, Halloween. Oh, yeah. That's exactly it, man. But man, we're gonna run out of a battery here. I think we have a great. This is a great footage here. This is a great way to.
This is fantastic. This might be. We might have to add this to the repertoire.
This may be the studio going forward. So this may be the way of the future, especially for the winter. Get us through these months. We have power. We have air conditioning.
I'm down to do this on the road. You know, speaking of drive-throughs, when we spoke, and I don't know when we spoke of that, but it was like a while back.
Okay.
You know the White Castle?
It's gone, man.
It's gone.
Which one? The Sunrise Highway?
The one on Sunrise Highway in Lynbrook.
Peninsula, right? It was staying in its place.
It's a frame.
It's a frame.
It's a frame.
Something's going up.
I don't think they're gonna rebuild it.
Something's going up, but probably not gonna be White Castle.
It's not there, bro.
So Springfield's the last one, then, eh?
Springfield's the last one. Oh no, Jamaica Avenue. I mean Hillside.
Hillside's still there, right?
Hillside's
still there, and the one on Hempstead Turnpike is still there.
Empire Boulevard, that's still there in Brooklyn?
Oh, I don't remember that one. Oh, Atlantic is one Atlantic.
The one on Atlantic. There's one on Hempstead Turnpike.
Man, I can't. We went to Bonefish Grill last night, and I saw it one day because I got. Matter of fact, the day me and you were drinking or something, and I got on the wrong fucking train. And I was like, fuck. And I got off at Lynbrook, and I was like, let me get off here. And I was like, meet me at the White. Let's go. What?
Where is White Castle?
What happened? Oh.
We want murder burgers.
Yeah, man.
White Castle lives matter.
Yeah, White Castle's matter. But anyway, thanks.
Appreciate it.
No, they don't appreciate it. Yeah. But thanks for everybody joining us. 2 Bros Podcast, episode 8. We had a wonderful time. Hope you did too. And
we out.
We out, man. Thanks to our special guest.
Thank you, John.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
All right, man.
We'll have you again.
We will have you back again. And maybe we'll do this on the road. Hit a nice long strip.
There you go.
I think Ocean Parkway is
Ocean Parkway would be nice.
We got. You remember we were racing down there?
You were racing on Ocean Parkway?
Yeah, like
gotta be careful now.
Yeah, now it's probably a bunch of smokies out there. But thanks everybody, man. 2 Bros Podcast, episode 8. Holla.
Love.
See you in the next episode. Remember, be a blessing to somebody else.
Always.
Peace. Still there? Like, that's crazy. So they're really. They have some. There are some valid things there, but I mean, I guess you just can't explain. You know, the fact that it's unexplainable makes it people saying, "Aha, you can't explain it." So something's weird. Yep. But then again, when you've never seen that before, like. Do you know what it's like to fucking burn a fucking, 1,000 degrees with wind? Like, wind itself is an accelerant. So if they're saying the high winds, that's kind of tough, man. That's kind of like saying blowing a flame. It makes it a blowtorch. Right. So it is an accelerant. It is a fucking damn near laser. But it's pretty weird. I mean, I saw some footage that. Pretty look fucking, and now they're even talking about this Geostorm movie, and again it goes to Hollywood. They keep pushing Hollywood to show you this is okay. We're gonna have one of these, and Gerard Butler's gonna save you. What fucking guy?
Or The Rock will come in his helicopter.
San Andreas Fall, dude. That movie, while I enjoyed it, go back and watch that movie and look at. 3,000 people in the water go, help us, and I gotta get my daughter.
I just want to get my daughter.
Like everything is monolithic to the one people in the story. You know what I'm saying? Like, and they do a shitty job of cropping out the rest of the world. Like, they just. It's a movie. I know that.
I think we give movies too much credit.
I think so.
I think we give them too much credit. We say, that couldn't have happened. Who gives a fuck?
It's a movie.
Couldn't have. It's a movie.
Entertain you.
It's not meant to inform you of anything. It's not meant to make like a what if scenario and put some legitimacy to it. It's meant to entertain you and stuff.
But at the same time, when we said earlier before, it's the same playing with your emotions, like to do it and to make you roller coaster ride up, down, make you feel a certain way, and then make you have a response. Oh, I'm gonna buy this now. You're buying clothes because you see them in movies. You're
Right.
buying
Well, that's
products.
right.
You're buying things. You know, it's the effect of it is real. People didn't do certain things until certain movies came out.
No, the effect of it is real if you allow it to. If you allow it to influence you.
Yeah, but the general population is so dumb.
It's so influential.
It's so dumb that more people will say yes than they will say, "Hey, wait a minute, this is a movie."
Well, okay.
I think the masses.
That remains to be. That's
We
right.
can't prove it.
I
We
understand
can't
that.
prove it,
I understand that. But then at the same time, then you have to ask yourself, okay, then so why aren't other things being done? Why aren't after we saw Planet of the Apes, why aren't people raising more chimpanzees or something like that, or just?
You're right.
Yeah, I mean.
If that lady got beat up by that one chimpanzee.
Well, she's kind of.
Everyone's scared of chimpanzees
she
now.
She kind of forgot the general principle, and that this is
He bite her face
very
off.
strong, wild animal.
And they play like it. They like
ain't your, yeah, exactly, right. This ain't your friend.
they just playing with you.
Just playing with
like
you.
a fucking tiger or a lion,
Right.
putting his paw on you. It's just
Yeah.
like, hey
Take
man,
your
oh I'm
arm
sorry, I'm ripping your flesh.
Yeah.
It looks like it's fun to me. But people, just, like you said, you may be right. I think people give.
Because they were safe with Michael Jackson, but then after that, forget it.
Speaking of Michael Jackson, I
shit.
stumbled upon
Michael Jackson.
Michael Jackson's Halloween. It's like a special. Michael Jackson's Halloween. It's an animated thing. Trick or treat.
Just ask.
Yo, it's
The
weird.
Jesus Juicy or something. Yeah.
It's something weird. It's some kind
Produced
of like.
by Harvey Weinstein.
It's like one of those Tim Burton type of things, like a
cartoon.
Yeah, it's really
What's a
wonky and
cartoon?
it's weird. It's like one guy's walking a dog, the other girl's trying to deliver pizzas or something, and they find out that there's this magical place with Michael Jackson and pumpkins fucking dancing, doing moonwalking shit. I was like, what the fuck is this? Even my wife came and she was like, what are you watching? And he's like,
What are you watching?
Do. And it's like, oh, Halloween. Michael Jackson, Halloween. Oh, yeah. That's exactly it, man. But man, we're gonna run out of a battery here. I think we have a great. This is a great footage
This
here.
is
This
fantastic.
is a great way to.
This is fantastic. This might be. We might
this
add
might-
this to the repertoire.
This may be the studio going forward. So this may be the way of the future, especially for the winter. Get us through these months. We have power. We have air conditioning.
I'm down to do this on the road. Speaking of drive-throughs, when we spoke, and I don't know when we spoke of that, but it was like a while back.
Okay.
The White Castle
gone, man.
is gone.
Which one? The Sunrise Highway?
The one on Sunrise Highway in Lynbrook.
It was staying in its place.
It's a frame.
It's a frame.
It's a frame.
Something's
I
going
don't-
up.
I don't
but
think they're gonna rebuild it.
something's going up, but probably not gonna be White Castle.
It's not there, bro.
So Springfield's the last one then, eh?
Springfield's the last one. Oh no, Jamaica Avenue. I mean Hillside.
That's still there, right?
Hillside's still there, and the one on Hempstead
Brooklyn's
Turnpike is still there.
Empire Boulevard, that's still there in Brooklyn?
Oh, I don't remember that one. Oh, Atlantic is one Atlantic.
The one on Atlantic. There's one on Hempstead Turnpike.
Man, I can't. We went to Bonefish Grill last night, and I saw it one day because I got. Matter of fact, the day me and you were drinking or something, and I got on the wrong fucking train. And I was like, fuck, and I got off at Lynbrook, and I was like, let me get off here. And I was like, meet me at the White. It's gone. What?
Where is White Castle?
What happened? Oh.
We
But,
want murder burgers.
Yeah, man.
White Castle lives matter.
Yeah, White Castle's matter. But
The
anyway,
kids don't
thanks.
appreciate it.
No, they don't appreciate it. But thanks for everybody joining us. 2 Bros Podcast, episode 8. We had a wonderful time. Hope you did too. And
We out.
we out, man. Thanks to our special guest.
Thank you, John.
Thank
Kyle.
you. Thanks for having me.
All right, man.
Deuces.
We'll have you again.
We will have you back again. And maybe we'll do this on the road. Hit a nice long strip.
There you go.
I think Ocean Parkway is
Ocean
the best.
Parkway would be
It's
nice.
probably the
Yeah.
best. 'Cause we got. You remember, man?
Right,
We were
right.
racing down there.
You racing on Ocean Parkway?
Yeah, like we
Gotta
gotta
be
get to
careful
the
now.
fucking beat. Yeah, now it's probably a bunch of smokies out there. But thanks everybody, man. 2 Bros Podcast, episode 8. Holla.
Love.
See you in the next episode. Remember, be a blessing to somebody else.
Always.
Peace.
Peace.
You're watching 2brosPodcast on 13 Ghost TV. Please subscribe, like, and leave a few comments. John, that was maybe 50.